Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the match of the week. We've got EVS, who've picked up a man you just saw in that video. 𝗧𝗏 has joined and gone up to the top lane. And over on the other side, you have the permanent juggernauts of the VCS, GAM Esports. This is an absolute cracker of a match, a cracker of a fixture, and one that has drawn a rift down this casting duo because Yulwei thinks GAM is going to win. And
that is correct. No, I don't think I am. Of course I don't. But yeah, it's the match of the week for a reason. We have GAM against EVS, two teams that are expected to be in playoffs for sure. My expected placement for both teams was first to fourth place. We all agreed on GAM third, and I think EVS first at the end of spring. Summer, of course. So you might ask yourself, why does this weird caster who has EVS placed first,
this weird caster who currently has the amazing score in predictions of 0 correct? Clearly, you know what you're talking about. Don't mention what my score is.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same or anything.
Someone has to break his loss streak right now, so that's a good sign. I think we agreed on every single matchup except this week, this match. So one of us at least gets one win. That is nice to see. But let's focus on the two teams and why I think GAM will win today, but lose out in the long run. So, of course, let's first mention all the changes. You already went over EVS picking up 𝗧𝗏. That's the only change for them. But GAM shuffled around a lot of players. They added 𝗧𝗏 back to their active roster. They added 𝗳𝗏, the former, what was the team? 𝗀𝗏 bot laner. And 𝗳𝗏, the former 𝗀𝗏 mid laner. And they lost 𝗃𝗏, 𝗏𝗍𝗏, 𝗧𝗏, and basically all their coaching stuff. So a lot of people are gone.
Yeah, and their owner. They lost everything that made GAM. Except their top side.
Their top side is still there. They still have the best mid-jungle duo in the VCS. They still have the best mid and top laner in the VCS. They still have insane synergy between the three players. And their bot lane is not bad either.
Do they have the best top laner in the VCS? I think 𝗧𝗏 is one of the most highly rated players to ever come out of Vietnam. And I believe he's the top laner for EVS.
Yeah,
𝗬𝗏 doesn't stand a chance.
Come on. That's not your opinion, if you're honest.
That's not my opinion at all. I'm just razzing you there. No, of course. I mean, I do kind of want to talk about the top lane because I think stylistically it's interesting. I don't necessarily think, I think if you looked at it last split when they were splitting time, 𝗬𝗏 was better than 𝗧𝗏. He shouldn't have actually been splitting time. 𝗬𝗏 was just the better player. And maybe if they'd played him all 5 games of the final, maybe GAM would have won. But it wasn't really 𝗧𝗏's fault. But look at the way 𝗬𝗏 plays. He does not play very pretty League of Legends. He is down in the dirt. He just does his job, right? 𝗧𝗏 is much better mechanically. I don't think there's too much question of that. 𝗬𝗏 gets the job done, but he doesn't carry a game the same way 𝗧𝗏 does. He enables his carries, while 𝗧𝗏 will pick up the bag himself. Yeah, if he can do that, he can carry EVS, and it doesn't matter. Levi, did you see him last split? Barely the 4th best jungler in the league. He's shit. Get him out. Dia1, did you see him in Pulsefire? He's not even good. He's Dia4. Get him out. EVS wins this 2-0. It's going to be over in 40 minutes.
Well, I beg to differ. I feel I can
I'm
see
being 100% sincere.
I know. Your 𝗧𝗏's point, I think, is very, very valid, and 𝗬𝗏 might still not be as strong on carry champs, but I think looking at the meta right now, it's more his wheelhouse than 𝗧𝗏's. We barely see Camille, we barely see Fiora and split pushes like that. It's more about lane dominant champs. Renekton, yeah, 𝗧𝗏 can play Renekton, but Renekton is not really the champ to solo win games. So I feel like 𝗧𝗏 is a little bit curtailed by the actual meta right now, while 𝗬𝗏 can thrive in basically every meta. That is why I have him slightly higher ranked. 𝗬𝗏, I still agree 𝗧𝗏 is an incredible player and a very good pickup, but looking at some of EVOS's potential weaknesses, I think they have a potential of too many cooks in the kitchen. They have 𝗂𝗏 and 𝗘𝗏𝗀 and, of course, 𝗁 as well. All very strong-minded carry players. And can they find a balance between the three of them? Can they actually find a way to play either to bot side or to top side, or maybe completely jungle focus? Who knows? I feel like that is a big question mark still for them. And 𝗏𝗊𝗀,
It is.
𝗏𝗊𝗀's split performance wasn't the greatest. I agree. He stepped up big time in playoffs, but can he replicate that success? Especially today against 𝗂𝗏 on his first quest to once again get the crown back for himself. I feel like 𝗏𝗊𝗀 will maybe be thrown under the bus. So, yeah,
Well,
I feel
I'll admit, I've picked EVOS to win this, but on my fantasy team, 𝗂𝗏 is my mid laner. So I'd be okay with 𝗂𝗏 popping off, but still losing in the end. In all seriousness, kind of like jokes aside, this is a really close matchup. It is actually super hard to pick. Both of us picked a 2-1. We just went other way. We went the opposite way, but it's a 2-1 on both sides. It wouldn't blow me away if GAM won.
And overall, it's just very hard to predict week one, of course, because it has been one of the longest absence of pro plays for a region. We have 2 months and 1 day between the two seasons, and of course, we saw glimpses of some of the teams in 𝗀𝗺ce, where the meta was defined by stupid rules, and then 2 of the teams playing in PCS with VCS, where GAM at least trolled around with their roster. So I feel like we have almost no information about the teams, and we can only speculate. And why I pick GAM today and still think EVOS will be the better team in 2 months is that I think GAM has more pre-existing synergy, and EVOS will take some time to iron out where they want to put their carries, which players have to step back and play a more facilitating role. So I feel like today's pre-existing synergy for GAM will lead to victory now, but in 2 months, I feel like EVOS will be the better team.
Okay. Well, we'll have to find out. Of course, some of that pre-existing synergy was really shaken on GAM. We weren't joking when we said they lost most of their coaching staff. They lost almost every single person behind the scenes. Tinnikin has left. It finally wasn't just a troll post on Facebook. He actually left, has gone to do another thing. Good on him. And there was a lot of upheaval with players. The fact that 𝗂𝗏 has left the team, ignoring the fact that he is actually playing against them today, the fact that 𝗂𝗏 left, I think, kind of shook things because, he was very good friends with Levi. They were the dynamic duo. He's now tried to leave the team once, has actually left now. I don't know how high the morale is in the GAM house.
Yeah. I agree. And my biggest concern for their side is 𝗂𝗏, actually, because not only did he seem to falter in all the tournaments we saw him play in the off-season, he also very clearly wanted to leave the team, and he might lack motivation to play to his highest level. Maybe he just coasts the split and doesn't actually put in effort in solo queue. Maybe he loses some of his very strong performances from Spring Split, and then suddenly, if 𝗂𝗏 can't once again be the best player of the league, then suddenly GAM's chances dwindle. Because 𝗬𝗢𝗢 is a good player, but not really a carry player. Levi alone, I don't think has enough to carry this team. And then suddenly it's looking dire.
But we are in Champion Select. We'll have to find out here on the Rift. What kind of champions are we expecting? The ADCs have been super high priority. But with these teams, EVOS definitely wants to grab a strong ADC. So does GAM just have to ban out the bot lane? Well, they're doing that at the moment, so...
The blue side so far today was double Ezreal first pick. Ezreal still open. Pantheon against 𝗂𝗏, respect ban. I am very curious about the Fiddlesticks, because of course that was the favorite pick for Levi in the jungle. And we have seen one top lane Fiddlesticks already today, so... very interested to see if anyone wants to pick him up. I'm also excited to see if either top laner actually is willing to lock in the bear, because the bear ran rampant yesterday in LEC and looked incredible. And both of these top laners are people to brawl, so you never know.
𝗬𝗢𝗢 playing the bear, I could see it. I could see 𝗬𝗢𝗢 bringing the volley bear out, but not sure yet. 𝗬𝗏 still pulling the respect bans with the Lucian and the Pantheon removed. They're just going to
and on the other side,
𝗚𝗏𝗏. Okay.
Yeah. It's a big disrespect for EVS to not ban 𝗚𝗏𝗏 on red side. They are basically telling GAM, we don't respect your bot lane. You can play 𝗚𝗏𝗏, we don't care. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 will be better. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 B, potentially the strongest 2v2 lane when it comes to just pure laning strength. I feel like they outperformed almost everyone, even Slater and CBL in lane at least. Will we see the blind Wukong? Blind Wukong has been a little bit of a trap.
It has been, but it's actually going to be the Ashe. Ezreal ignored, left available in this one. Of course, Ezreal into 𝗚𝗏𝗏 can be a little bit rough in lane. Ashe can definitely keep distance, and we know what slows do to 𝗚𝗏𝗏. There's an unhappy bunny.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Ashe is the premier counter pick into 𝗚𝗏𝗏, so it makes sense. They prepared the Ashe. I'm a little worried for 𝗚𝗏𝗏, who sometimes is out of position, a little bit too far forward. And Ashe, if you do that on Ashe, you just die instantly. So a little bit scary on the side of EVOS, but they are trusting their ADC, and that's good to see.
Yeah, for sure. And they might just lock away the Nautilus as well, secure their entire bot lane, get exactly what they want. Do we finally see the GAM pivot to playing around the bot side? No, 𝗘𝗏𝗢 gets set. That's actually, is it 𝗘𝗏𝗢?
I feel like it's
I think, yeah, I said it and then immediately thought, ooh, actually, that could be Slay.
Yeah, we're in Summer Split. Set is not primarily a top lane anymore. He is now a support and sometimes a jungler as well. So, and even some people still playing in mid lane. And there we have another top laner, 𝗂𝗏𝗏. This is, I feel like this is a good pick for GAM, just to secure a strong matchup in top lane. As not a lot of champions
take it away
win.
from 𝗂𝗏𝗏 as well.
Yeah, and not a lot of champs win against Renekton. You also are not showing your mid lane, so potential counter pick for mid lane. And you're basically forcing EVOS's hand. Who is going to budge first and show their jungle pickup? Because, of course, we talked a lot about jungle counter picks. And no team is willing to pick a jungler so far. So we might see a lot of jungle picks and then EVOS securing the jungler first in the second stage.
So we do have both of our presumed bot lanes. Set, of course, is still flexible, but we think it's a support. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 set versus the 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏s. That's an interesting one, for sure. I don't feel like anyone really dominates that bot lane. I think 𝗚𝗏𝗏 should win it. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 wins most bot lanes.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's kill potential.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be a safe approach for EVO's bot lane, which is always a little bit sad to see with a very strong laning duo. We also have to acknowledge that B is the master of Braum. This will be his, I haven't checked his numbers, but the last time I checked his Braum numbers for this year was something like 18 Braum games. So this might be his 20th Braum game already. It's unbelievable. He has played so much on. Yeah, Braum.
So. Look at the ban. Quinn taken out. They don't want that Renekton counter pick coming in. Okay.
That's actually very interesting how the bans unfolded here. They banned 𝗚𝗏𝗏 so to deny the 𝗚𝗏𝗏 combo. And the typical counter pick for 𝗚𝗏𝗏 is Quinn. So banning Quinn after 𝗚𝗏𝗏 is already banned is a little strange, but I guess they're still scared.
Quinn just beats Renekton even without
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I think an 𝗚𝗏𝗏 ban in general is very strange. Yeah, Renekton 𝗚𝗏𝗏 is very strong, but 𝗚𝗏𝗏 is, and I know my producer is going to be very upset when I finish this sentence. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 is very weak at the moment.
And will we see the second Kindred game locked in today? 𝗬𝗏𝗏 won the game for Cerberus. I feel like 𝗬𝗏𝗏 could be good here as well. Not quite as much kite from the ADC position, but still hard to lock down the Braum and, of course, the Ashe as well. This would be boring.
That's very boring. And I almost feel like they were a little bit out of ideas. A little bit scared to throw down the gauntlet and just snap pick something like Kindred. So they just went the very standard, very boring Rek'Sai. What will GAM round their comp out with?
I actually don't like that they gave the blind pick to that they blind pick jungle here. Top is already locked in. Why don't you just counter pick top and leave your blind pick jungle for last pick? I feel like if the enemy team does not lock in Gragas here, it's a very good opportunity for Sawn's Kindred. Ooh. It's a very good opportunity for maybe a different farming jungler as well. Instead, they now give away their jungle matchup, and top is picked already, so the counter pick top will not be super valuable anyway.
Okay.
Oh,
there's a
yes.
hover here. That's a _�𝗿𝗎 hover. Against a Jace. It's not against Jace. It's against Renekton. That's Jace mid. It's against Renekton.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Come on. Lock the bear in.
B.
Okay, I'm going to very quickly. What are his abilities called? It's just Aatrox, unfortunate. This back half of the draft is very skittish by EVOS. They were frightened of what GAM was going to do and just picked so boring, so standard.
Yeah, and look at GAM's side of things. We can see early game. Bam! They are going hard in the GAM style, and of course, they were one of the best early game teams in the world, actually, in the spring split. Looking at stats only, more than 2.5k gold on average up. So I feel like this is a very nice approach for the first game of the season. Just go very hard in the early game and try to stomp your opponents from laning phase, win lane, win game for GAM.
Yeah, that is definitely a fan vote, very close, which is rare when GAM is involved. GAM normally dominates fan votes. They're a very popular team. But EVOS with 42%, that's almost a win when you're up against GAM. This is interesting. So now, we criticized EVOS's comp for being a bit boring, but it is solid.
Solid, yeah. I'm once again not too happy with the Aatrox top. Aatrox actually scales better when he has a Karma on his team because he gets unlocked a little bit more. He doesn't have to care too much about his defenses. Can go full on aggressive, and dive into the backline way easier. So he scales a little bit better. His late game threat is a little higher. But you're trading your mid lane damage for that, right? Because Karma doesn't really offer too much in team fights later on. So you're relying on Aatrox to be the primary carry here, which is a risky proposition. Aatrox into Renekton is a weird matchup. Usually Renekton gets pushed, but Aatrox doesn't really lose out too much in terms of CS. So I expect Xerath to just go even early on, maybe invest a gank or two on Kiaya as Renekton, who's likely to overextend, and then try to snowball the Aatrox into a very strong mid-game position.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Putting Xerath on the Aatrox, though, seems like a little bit of a waste. He is such a beast of a mechanical player. He should, if given a matchup, should be able to hard win. So maybe they should have picked up the Renekton earlier, considered a ban on it even, because, yeah, you're right. There's nothing in the meta at the moment that really beats Renekton straight up. Even if Xerath is a little bit mechanically better than Kiaya, because it's not like the gap is that big, right? Kiaya on Renekton can still win lane against Xerath. Doesn't really matter.
Kiaya is a very good laner. Regardless of mechanics, people focus too much on mechanics when it comes to laning. And mechanics are important, but also reading situations, manipulating waves is a very, very important thing about laning as well. For example, there was an interview in EU where people tried to compare Perkz and Upset. And almost everyone said Upset is better mechanically, but Perkz is still the better laner, which it comes from Perkz being able to read trades better and stuff like that. I feel like Kiaya is a very, very strong player when it comes to these aspects of laning.
Kalista.
Yeah. Kalista, Hail of Blades. Not great.
Yep. Hail of Blades, Kalista. B, you can't step up that far. Can't get face broke into that.
Yeah, this is suffering time for B down the bot lane. He's basically the punching bag, and he needs to try to not die. But that's basically everything he does here. He just tries to not die and get beaten up in laning phase all the time. Xerath missed almost every good there.
Yeah, that wasn't the best. Kiaya also got a very nice trade against him. They're both level 2. Xerath should be okay for now. It's not solo queue or anything. There's no ignite on the Renekton. As more queues do come out. The junglers have met. Levi wants this one, but I tell a lie. There is kill potential, as look at that. Down goes 𝗳𝘂𝗎. 𝗘𝗑𝗢 starts us off with a bang. Just solo killed 𝗳𝘂𝗎.
Yep, I'm just going to say 𝗘𝗢𝗢 ranked 6th, 𝗳𝘂𝗎 ranked 7th. So, haha. Superior analyst over here. Nice
or
down for 𝗘𝗢𝗢.
As you named our sleeper league, bow down to the superior anal because you ran into a character limit. Which made me laugh. Well, that's how it showed up on the phone. 𝗀𝗏 gets the crab. It is, but every time it comes up on my phone, it drops the last couple letters. But so far, your prediction looking good as GAM definitely have the early tempo. 𝗘𝗢𝗢 presses B, comes back to lane with the executioners calling. aatrox is very, very upset. And let's have a look at how it actually happened.
Yeah, I think 𝗳𝘂𝗎 got a little bit confused as to where to go. Probably looked a little bit at his jungler as well. Just, yeah. Underestimated the threat 𝗘𝗢𝗢 was posing, and 𝗘𝗢𝗢 was laser focused on getting the kill there. Yeah, the flash was, I think 𝗳𝘂𝗎 just failed to keep an eye on himself and just was like, okay, 𝗀𝗏, do you need help? Do you need help? And then, okay, I am the one in need of help, but it's too late.
Yeah, and this lane is almost just over now. The execution is calling versus a refillable potion. I think Renekton's going to be in a pretty good spot.
So right now, 𝗘𝗢𝗢 is pushing out the lane. So there's a small opportunity to get maybe a gank for 𝗳𝘂𝗎 to correct the lane state and also give him a little bit of gold to answer with.
But in the mid lane, we have the all-in 𝗬𝗏 trying to be the solo king master once again. He hadn't hit 6 though, and we know 𝗬𝗏 always gets the solo kill at level 6. But did blow Parquet's flash, so Levi can go mid.
To be fair, they are playing a lane without ultimates, so level 6 doesn't really matter too much. It's Jace against Karma. They all have their ults ready at level 1 already, so it was a little bit early for 𝗬𝗏 for his usual solo kill, but first game of the season, and he's almost there. Remember, more than one solo kill a game last season, so let's see if he can keep up that average.
Ridiculous. Yeah, 𝗬𝗏 is an absurd player, for sure. 𝗳𝘂𝗎 he's managing to pick up a lot of farm. Of course, there is a lot of focus, narrative-wise, up on 𝗳𝘂𝗎. I'm sure the Observer will be looking at this top lane a lot as he is going up against his former team. But the Observer has gone mid because here's Levi Parquet with no flash, and Levi gets the kill. Why couldn't you have given it to 𝗬𝗏? Give me some points. But it doesn't matter. It's a kill for GAM regardless. They're looking very, very scary.
And 𝗳𝘂𝗎 has pushed in this lane regardless of what this is going to mean. Interestingly enough, I feel like he's exposing himself to being frozen on, but it's pushed in enough so the wave resets. So 𝗘𝗢𝗢 actually now, 𝗘𝗢𝗢 is taking a trade, and 𝗀𝗏 is here, lying in wait.
Yep, he's all right. He's a little bit back, but now here comes 𝗀𝗏. The wings are out as well. 𝗘𝗢𝗢 in a lot of trouble. He hits 6, he has the dive, and they turn it around because here's Levi. 𝗀𝗏 trying to fight through, but it doesn't matter. It's 𝗬𝗏 from the side, the shock blast, and it's all gone wrong. Parquet comes up top, and 𝗬𝗏 says, thanks for the extra, son. I'll see you back in mid lane when you respawn. GAM, 5-0 up. They are dominating.
So, well, I can see why EVOS wanted to go for this play, for sure. They tried to salvage the top lane. They got a level advantage for 𝗳𝘂𝗎 and wanted to immediately capitalize on that small little advantage. But it is very risky. You saw the whole minion wave dying in front of 𝗘𝗢𝗢. He was still level 5, so it's very likely he's very, very close to level 6. And they kind of disregard that fact. Also, Levi with good positioning, coming back from the mid gank. Let's look at the minimap. Levi is actually very close, just finishing his Gromp. Gromp is on now, and 𝗘𝗢𝗢 hits 6 of that Q where he kills a minion, and then the fight is just lost. Honestly, I think 𝗘𝗢𝗢 could have probably even 1v2'd when he hit 6 there. Yeah. But then it gets worse because Parquet rise as well. Yeah, you can't cancel TPs anymore. One of the best changes ever done.
No, screw that. Bring it back. I think Parquet's wishing that change never happened. No, it was a good change, of course. And, oh boy, It is a 2K gold lead. It's looking like GAM have last split already.
It really
They're
is.
2K up at 8 minutes. 5 kills in the pocket.
So now
I mean, top lane's done. Mid lane's done.
Yeah,
Is the
jungle
bot lane
probably
going to be
done as well.
okay? Yeah, but that's not a lane at least.
So now we have to focus on how GAM is going to play with this lead. Because in TCS VCS tournament, they were able to accrue some leads as well, but their mid game was atrocious. Egregiously dead throws against the LMS teams, or PCS teams, sorry. So I hope they improved their macro a little bit, because that part of the game wasn't the greatest. And even though they're up 2K and 5 kills, there's the first counter kill.
Here we go. Here is the fight coming in. 𝗧 is caught out. Can they get this kill actually done, though? No, because this call. The knockup doesn't land, but it doesn't matter. You can't swim away, Sandshark. And down goes the Rek'Sai. EVOS cannot get anything done as they're trying to get onto B. Will the rend be enough? It will. And Easy Love living up to the name, because goddamn did that look easy.
Massacre across the map. So many good ideas from EVOS, but the execution not quite there. And I feel like they're reading the map states really well and where they have to strike, but they're not reading the micro situation as well. So they are not accounting for certain abilities like Kiaya's ultimate in the last fight, or like Easy Love's ultimate now in the fight in the bot lane. They focus all of their damage on 𝗧 after Easy Love escaped the first attempt. And then, I mean, 𝗧 has the safety of the ultimate all the time. Look at this. Look at how far forward 𝗧 is playing here. Just to get the face breaker, very nicely done as well. Very good micro from 𝗧. 237 true damage on Divkid. And everyone is focusing and overcommitting on 𝗧. He still has
the ultimate didn't even get used for safety in the end.
Though.
No, he could play so aggressive because he knew he had it.
Yeah,
but in the end, it didn't save him. It was used aggressively.
Yeah, absolutely. But it could have saved
GAM is ripping them up. Yeah.
They should know that. It's a very strange thing to assess, because sometimes, like with Team Secret in Game 1, they were playing micro correctly, but macro was lacking. I feel like EVOS is playing macro decently well and reading the map state, but they are really disregarding certain key abilities in fights. And they're now 0-7 down in kills.
This is not great, to say the least, for EVOS. Absolutely getting destroyed. 4K gold at 10 minutes. I thought one split. Just one split. Where GAM wasn't going to kill everyone.
I mean, this is just GAM's style. GAM is very early game focused, and
it's true.
Looking at one game is really not going to tell us the whole story. Yes, we have another dive.
𝗳𝗏, I think he may well remain 𝗳𝗏 3. And down in the bot lane, Divkid very low. The GAM bot lane was low as well, but it didn't matter. And finally, I will take a sip of my drink.
They are already dead.
No. This is bullying. This is open up mid, boys.
Yeah, seriously. Oh man, everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
I think we need to get Tarzan in to have a look at this game, examine whether these high elo players are negatively impacting the community experience.
Oh my god, it's a massacre. And this is, of course, a little bit discouraging for EVOS fans, but I feel like you have to expect something like this. In matches against GAM is a very snowbally team, and some games will be like this. But luckily, we played
this is a fantastic play by 𝗧.
𝗧 is smurfing.
I mean, 𝗧 has always been really, really good. He didn't play last split because he wanted to be a streamer, and apparently was quite successful. But they've convinced him to come back. They've managed to grease the palm enough, and the dude is really good.
And as far as I know, he's the most decorated player in the VCS. He has 6 titles to his name. So most of those, of course, as ADC. But if he can add another one as a support, that would be very impressive. Of course, he got the support title last summer, so you got that already. But 7th title, the second one on support, so many years after he started playing, would be very impressive. So I'm all for
lucky sevens. It would be incredibly impressive if he could pick up another title. Of course, that is a long, long way away. We are only in week 1. In their first game, so let's not count our chickens before they're hatched. But I think not only is this game 1 hatched, it's already laid a second game, which we could hurry up and get to.
Yeah, it's only 30 minutes in. I think back to game 5 of the finals. It looked over at this point in the game as well. And then GAM managed to throw it all away. So they lost their title in the last game. Everything is possible. It's a very early game focused composition. They have strong mid game tools. It's only the late game where they start to really fall off. So I don't actually feel like they are that much on the clock right now. There's still a lot of time to go the game.
I don't feel like EVS is that strong in the late game either, though.
They should be a little bit stronger, but potentially not strong enough to overcome this big of a gold lead. I agree.
Yeah. They are 9-0 down. We are not even at the fabled 15 minutes, and it's already a 7k gold lead.
Oh my God. And no solo kills so far for DO1, so he really needs to step up his
game.
He's
slacking.
Yeah, he's slacking big time. 𝗀𝗢 the solo kill master now? Maybe.
I mean, he's absolutely smurfing on Zeros.
He started the finals with a solo kill on Stark as well. Maybe even 2 solo kills? He definitely got one very early on.
Look at these gold totals your way.
No. Oh, what? 2k in the top lane. Almost 2k in the jungle. 1 and a little bit in mid lane. Ugh. It's ugly.
Oh, Levi in the mid lane. They want Parker. Hey, that was a little bit of a half-baked attempt, but it doesn't matter because D1's going to flash forward. Here comes an Ash Arrow onto 𝗀𝗢, but he's not tanking. Can they get anything back? D1 is very low, but it doesn't matter because Slay gets it all done with the showstopper.
Wait a second. What was that interaction? That was so weird. Did you see that? When we see the replay, focus on the showstopper and the ult for 𝗀𝗏. The showstopper grabbed 𝗀𝗏, but 𝗀𝗏 casted his ult beforehand, so he disappeared in the middle of showstopper and arrived with his ult at the same target afterwards. That was so strange. What happened there?
We'll have to have a look. As here we go in the replay. This was not even a clean dive. But it worked.
A little bit less damage with a new Predator, but of course still works out in the end. And now look at 𝗀𝗏 here.
Oh, yeah. What? Because he altered. That was strange. Yeah, that was very weird.
That is very weird.
Well, because of course, like the showstopper set travels regardless.
Yeah,
set always travels. He's unstoppable. You can QSS the showstopper.
It shouldn't start if the enemy target casted an unstoppable.
I think he'd already grabbed him. There is a little bit of a delay on the Rek'Sai.
There seems to be like a split second where you can actually cast your ult still or something, or the cast animation hasn't gone off, so you can actually grab a Rek'Sai still, but the cast has gone off, so you will still disappear.
So like there's like that half a second where the Rek'Sai screams. And you can still grab her then.
Makes sense.
It's very short. Like you pretty much have to press R at the same time.
Looked very silly. In the end, it doesn't matter. GAM is actually still working on the perfect game, by the way.
I'm convinced that QSSing a set ult is one of the funniest animations in the game. He just twirls through the air by himself and then just shoulder drops nothing.
I also love how he traveled so slowly because it's like it's a really big show he puts on, right? It's supposed to look cool, but if no one follows, it's like, okay, go.
I do like how like Set's whole kit is he's just showing off. Like all of the moves he does are like just pro wrestler shit. Like they are the most in real life, they are the stupidest moves you could do in a fight. There's a reason you don't swing haymakers. Oh, it's fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, the damage coming on out of EVS as 𝗀𝗢 flashes away. Don't lose your perfect game, GAM. Damn. I really played up how good EVS was for a bit. in the pregame, and they're about to get perfect games.
Hey! Look at CLG over in NA. Okay, they get perfect game on the first day, and now they're 2-1. So who knows? There's still time.
Are we really? I don't really want to compare the VCS to a minor region. Like, can we just talk about good regions? I mean.
Well, in EU, they're Schalke, but I don't feel like
they beat G2.
Not this season, though.
True. You can't escape the Schalke 𝗘𝗎.
You might be wondering, why are these shit casters not talking about the game? Please explain how the teams are going to win this game. Yeah, look at the scoreboard. The game is over.
Yeah. Why aren't we talking about the game? Because EVS didn't connect.
It's unfortunate.
Bot game.
Some tech issues. It's, finally, VTB was too fed up with teams locking in wrong champions, so they said, okay, you have to play now. And EVS is so tilted that they didn't show up today. Unlucky. Now, that's, of course, not the case. Don't take my word for that. They just got rolled in the early game.
No,
that happens
of course.
with GAM.
No, God, no, that's not actually true. I hope no one would think that. VTB does a very good job. They're not going to do that. And
Error.
Arrow, but they're not in range. But it doesn't matter. There's a Callista. Okay.
This is so sad.
Can you? What direction do you think they are? 45-degree tilt, 60-degree tilt.
It's at least the 75%, I think.
Is the size of the mental boom breaking nuclear proliferation treaties yet? Because I'm pretty sure this is a pretty big boom for EVS.
And to summarize the success story of this game for EVO's perspective, you can compare Slay's items to Son's items, or even Zeros's items, and then tell me who's the top laner here.
Oh, shit. That's really bad. I'm just trying to think of I can't even think of jokes. This is just schlacken.
This is a little bit of a problem with early game stomps right now and the current state of the game, because there's no the only objective that is strong enough to end the game is spawning at 20 minutes. So if you stomp the first 10 minutes, okay.
As Thorn just dies, GAM might try and end the game here. Oh, what? No, Thorn died. Yeah, Thorn died.
Yeah,
no one.
Look at Levi's HP bar.
Oh right, yeah.
Close.
So just because we've got nothing in the game to talk about, let's be totally honest. Just thinking of big stomps, I remember probably more than 10 years ago now, the grand final of the AFL, which is Australian Football League. Not actual football, it's Australian rules is its own sport, but it's very big. The grand final was on, and one of the airlines in Australia, Jetstar, said, if Geelong wins, which is one of the teams that was playing, we'll give away 10 free flights for every point they win by. Because it was meant to be a pretty close final.
No.
They won by 160 points.
Oh my God. And did they follow? Did they
I'm pretty sure they followed through. I'm pretty sure they did it.
Nice. That's good.
But I don't
That's
remember exactly.
sport.
It was a long time. It was... so just to give perspective, that would be the equivalent of winning 20-0 in soccer.
Oh boy, that is harsh.
That
you
is
know that the Australian football team,
disgusting.
Soccer team, holds the high ever national.
We beat American Samoa 32-0 or something, didn't we?
31-0.
Yeah.
Imagine that every 3 minutes ago. What the? How? How do you even do that?
It's not the best.
I follow some obscure sports, or some sports that are only known to UK people most of the time. So snooker, for example. I'm a really big fan of snooker for a long time now. And last year's World Championship had one of the biggest stomps ever as well. And And the losing player after the championship got interviewed. He said, like, "Yeah, I'm glad I had the best seed. I could follow this incredible play because I didn't get to play."
I remember. I don't follow snooker, but I do. Like, my favorite thing I know about it was once there was an actual controversy because a player missed a shot. Like, he just stuffed up a fairly easy shot, and then just knocked his pool cue against the side of the table in frustration. Not like smacked it, just like a dink. And he got fined like $3,000 or something. As a team fight has broken out, 𝗘𝗢𝗢, don't throw away this perfect game.
We see some of the struggles for GAM's composition. Yeah. It's very short range.
They are short range. They do struggle to actually get onto fights.
Oh, no. That's a turret. Someone needs to TP down here.
Yeah, this could be the perfect game ending. This is going to be a close one. Can 𝗧𝗏 get the tower while the Baron's going down? This is the absolute highest peak of the game. Will the tower die? You might ask why I'm talking about a tower while Baron's going down. But I'll tell you, it's because Baron going down doesn't matter. The game is still over. Will the perfect game be broken? Baron's dead. The tower is low. There's no minions left. It's going to be close. But 𝗧𝗏 gets the tower. And the perfect game is broken. GAM will not get the perfect game.
Yeah, it's very fitting that 𝗧𝗏 is the one killing the turret. I think this was more important to him than anything else in the game now. Don't lose your first game against your former team in a perfect game. That would be so embarrassing. So good on him to make that stop. It's still a perfect kill game, but at least they have one objective to their name now. And they're only 12k gold behind, so, maybe.
They're only 12k gold behind at 24 minutes. Woo!
And an Ocean Soul point as well, so, What is your favorite soul to play? Even when you play yourself in the league.
Ocean. I play bruises.
Yeah, that's fair.
I play a lot of bruises. Ocean just makes me unstoppable. Do you know how fun it is being a 𝗚𝗏𝗘𝗀𝗧 in the death realm with Ocean Soul?
Yeah,
you just don't die.
I feel like the coolest to play is actually Cloud because he moves so fast. It's so much fun to move so fast. And I feel like the one I have the most success with is actually Mountain. Because I play a lot of backline champs, right? So Mountain. I think
I've genuinely gotten Mountain Soul once. I don't know. I just don't get Mountain
It's
Soul.
Always Ocean. In my games, it's always Ocean. It's like 90% of my games are Ocean. Yeah?
It's always Infernal. And I hate it because I don't like Infernal map. Give me my bushes back.
Yeah, I hate Ocean as a support because there's more bushes there to cover and to sweep. So, nah. Please.
Yeah.
Give me Infernal map. There's no brushes.
Yeah. Ooh, this is potentially the last stand of EVOS as we do come back into the game. Levi charging forward, does throw the barrel, doesn't get much. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 going very, very low. These very low. Can they get a kill? No, so far, no. And the health bars are dropping. 𝗘𝗏 charging forward. A lot of damage. They've got to be careful of the tower. They're short range. It is hard for them to crack this. But EVOS has to run away to go and get some health. They'll get this inhib, and then the dragon spawns. Are they just going to go straight for soul? Oh, no, they'll get 2 inhibs. This is risky. They could lose 1 or 2 of them on the retreat here. 𝗘𝗏 thuds a shock blast.
Yeah, they're playing very conservatively, considering their enormous gold lead. Maybe a little bit too much, looking at the perfect kill game. Fair enough. It's very hard for them to lose. B actually had the best play of the whole game for EVOS there. He managed to exhaust 𝗘𝗏 while he was in air for his Q. And he saw the massive amounts of damage 𝗘𝗏 was still able to deal. So imagine the exhaust did not cut through.
Ocean Soul secured. GAM looking for the fight. 𝗧𝗏 charging forward with the showstopper. Uses the haymaker. 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 can't get over the wall. He goes down to Levi, and now EVOS has to run. This should be it. 𝗘𝗏 getting a kill. In goes 𝗧𝗏, trying to get onto Divkid. He succeeds. It's a double kill for 𝗘𝗏. That's great. I love it. Give me my fantasy points. Levi chasing 𝗧𝗏 off, and the rest of the team will just go to end the game. What am I talking about? They're not going to do that at all. They're all here for kills. 𝗧𝗏 is dealing the damage. He's charging forward. He's a set with Ocean Soul. He's all right. B is the only one left standing, as this is going to be it. Game 1, 18-0. The only thing EVOS manages to get is 1 tower that was traded for a Baron, and that was the most ridiculous stomping we have seen in a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, does the GAM look hot? My god, they are here to play the early game, and if you can get to 30 minutes, maybe you have a chance against GAM, but good luck getting there. Good luck getting there. It's not looking likely. They actually took a long time to close this game out, and still the timer only reads 27 minutes. Because it was over for 20 minutes, so...
You know that it was a stomp of a game when the casters get to talking about snooker.
Indeed.
So that was just an absolute schlacken. There's no other way to put it. That was domination by GAM, but we have to pick an MVP.
Oh.
I'm thinking between two people, personally. Levi and Slay.
Levi and Slay. Okay.
Well, the fact that we both have Slay might lean towards it perhaps being Slay. He was great on the set.
Yeah. I like 𝗘𝗢𝗢 a lot as well. He got the ball rolling in the top lane.
True, but he only made he got one solo kill and then the rest was assisted by Levi. Not to say that that's a bad thing. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I'll let you make the call.
It's very hard for me to decide. I don't actually remember the start of the game anymore. What actually broke it open? I think the first big fight happened in...
It was the top side where they forgot 𝗘𝗢𝗢 was going to hit level 6. Levi arrived.
Yeah.
And then 𝗚𝗏𝗏 teleported up.
I'll give it to Levi, to 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢. I feel like he played this matchup nicely. So
𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢 it is. Lock that in for MVP. And we will be back for game 2 in just about 5 minutes. Can EVOS bounce back, or are we in for another season of Garmination? Find out soon. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for watching VCS English. Well, as everyone predicted, and absolutely no one would have ever thought the other way, GAM has won Game 1 in the most obvious turn of events ever. EVOS, who we all knew, all of us, me and you, both predicted GAM to win Game 1, obviously. Right? There's definitely no video record of anyone predicting not GAM. Not at all. But EVOS did lose, and it was close. It wasn't a perfect game. EVOS got a tower.
Yay.
That's it. That sentence ends there. They got a tower.
They got the tower. That's it. They gave him 𝗚𝗔𝗊𝗲 and 18 kills in return. So,
And the next, importantly.
Can definitely improve on that performance. That is the main takeaway, I'd say. Or you could also say it's very hard to perform worse.
Yeah, you could not get a tower. Other than that, I think, no, you can't do much worse. What can EVOS even change up, though? Because I don't think it was really a composition issue. It was play. Yeah.
It started with a solo kill on the top lane, and then every single play that they attempted did backfire on them. I said it in game, and I say it again here. I feel like they disregarded a lot of the ultimate abilities, so all their plays, their attempts were nice. The timing was correct, the pathing was correct, but in the end, they forgot about the Renekton ult or about Slay being protected by 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢 ult. If they keep their eyes on the very important abilities, maybe they can do a little bit better. Because I feel like their ideas, their play attempts were not the worst. So I hope they can step up in that aspect.
I think macro-wise, the calls they made were fine, but their in-the-moment decision-making was just the most illustrative one, not necessarily the most detrimental, but definitely the most illustrative, was when they focused Slay on the bot side.
I agree.
It is a set who is incredibly tanky and can get a Haymaker shield and has a 𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢. Focusing set could not be stupider.
And the 𝗘𝗪𝗢 is level 7. So the set actually was level 5. So maybe they only checked the levels on set and were like, okay, they don't have.
That actually makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
If they went, oh, the support's level 5, the AD carry doesn't have ult. Like, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's why I was very confused with the plays, but also it's something EVOS has shown us before, a little bit of over eagerness, a little bit of over aggressive stick to the play mentality where once they commit hard, and then even if new information comes in, even if one of the players realizes, okay, maybe it's not the greatest idea to fight here, no one pulls the trigger, or no one pulls back at everyone. Everyone is like, okay, we are just going to die here because no one actually wants to shot.
I mean, the real thing is here. I'm going to demonstrate my fear for EVOS. Is I fear that they're a little bit like this. Don't worry, I'll come back around. They might be a little bit tilted in this second game, but they are into champ select.
EVOS on blue side.
Can bounce back.
Can they? What was first pick the last time around?
The bot lane, 𝗘𝗪𝗢.
𝗘𝗪𝗢, of course, yeah. 𝗘𝗪𝗢 was a strong asset for GAM, so I'm interested to see if they want to leave it open. I feel like disrespecting 𝗘𝗪𝗢 on red side is probably not the greatest call EVOS ever made. So let's see. I feel like GAM will opt to ban 𝗘𝗪𝗢, and then we'll see 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗪𝗀. That's my early prediction here. Okay.
Yeah, it's possible. Okay, they banned the 𝗘𝗪𝗢. Okay, that just shows they don't necessarily want to play it.
Oh, that's very detrimental to your bans.
Yeah.
You never want to ban with an OP champ on blue side, so really don't like the 𝗘𝗪𝗢 ban here. I feel like you could have used this ban on Gragas. The 𝗘𝗪𝗢 first pick could have come in here for you.
Do you have to ban Gragas? I don't think you have to ban Gragas. I think he's playing.
One of Levi's best champs.
It is, but I don't think he's overpowered though, and the set ban as well. EVOS is. There's a lot of OPs left up, and that favors red side.
Absolutely. Syndra banned, so we have Astro Aphelios open. Feel like Aphelios will be the first pick. Nice. This was pretty easy to predict. It's just a little bit of difficult tendencies showing here. He's more an Aphelios player than he is an Astro player. This time around, GAM answered with the Ashe. So Ashe is a red side special, it seems like.
Which is, I mean, it being on the red side is not super surprising, but the overall prominence of Ashe is a bit strange. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure why so many VCS teams are going with the Ashe as so high priority. Do you need to pick it in the first rotation?
Question. Oh ho ho! Hello, hello.
Okay, beep boop. The crank has arrived.
Oh, perfect. He's named B and plays the Beep Boop chain. I like it.
It's true, it is Beep in the bot lane.
But yeah, you once again have to add a little bit of global meta thinking and think about why GAM didn't just go Ezreal Yuumi here, which would have been the answer in NA or EU and potentially even LCK. GAM with a more late-game-oriented draft, that's scary for me, as they dominated early game. Can they also play late game?
I mean, is this going to be a mid-lane Karma? Is DR1 about to play Karma?
Oh no. Oh no.
Like, what?
I mean, it can still go support, right? Support Karma is support.
Yeah, of course, but it's more a mid laner.
And you should definitely ban Trundle here. Please, GAM.
Yeah, GAM should 100% ban Trundle.
Or pick it. I guess you can pick it too. Then ban Kindred. If you want to pick the Trundle, ban Kindred. Or ban Trundle if you want to pick something else.
Find out. 5 seconds left on that ban timer. They've already banned Nidalee. And it's Elise. Okay?
Okay, Elise Renekton, fair enough. Fair enough.
I still think Trundle's more important. But they could still pick it, of course.
Yeah, and Ornn is not... Man, Ornn can immune 1 CC from Elise Renekton, but after he immunes it, he still gets stunned, right? So he doesn't... the stun doesn't disappear.
EVOS? Why have they banned the Kindred?
They want the Trundle, so...
But
GAM,
they've denied them. But just insta-lock Trundle.
Yeah.
This
I
is
agree.
a snap Trundle.
So if you don't go Trundle here, you have actually hard into draft. Let's see. If GAM... Oh my... No. Well...
Watch them win anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But surely Trundle gets picked up here by EVS.
I mean, to be fair, the matchup is a little scary for Trundle. I have a very good friend who plays a lot of Trundle, and he says one of the only scary matchups early against melee champs is 𝗚𝗔𝗠.
Oh,
guys,
no.
guys, what is
my
going
god,
on?
EVS.
Violet, you're the best drafting coach in the league. Please,
I
why are
think
you doing?
𝗀𝗏 is having a crisis of confidence.
Maybe, yeah.
2 𝗬𝗏𝗀 games doesn't make sense.
Can we please not play 𝗁𝗲 and 𝗚𝗔𝗠 as the 2v2? Oh my, holy moly! They have no damage whatsoever. It's all on 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Why?
I mean,
why?
𝗬𝗏𝗏 is good. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Slay is a scary bot lane.
Yeah, but why didn't you just pick up a carry for Dia1? It's not like the bot lane is super scary now for GAM. It's Aphelios Blitzcrank. Okay, it's not super fun to play against, but 𝗁𝗲 is a very strong laner as well. And why would you give up the opportunity to carry from mid lane when you have a 𝗚𝗔𝗠 to set up plays in the mid lane? So I really like 𝗁𝗲 as mid laner if you have a carry jungler. The best pairing, in my opinion, is 𝗁𝗲 and Kindred, where she can give Kindred Ardent Sensor, help her scale faster. You can provide a lot of protection for your Kindred to invade. 𝗚𝗔𝗠 is there to facilitate laners, not the laners there to facilitate him. Both drafts are weird.
Yeah, both drafts. I mean, over on the Evo side, it's really just the 𝗬𝗏𝗀, right? The rest is actually pretty good. I think 𝗚𝗏 is still, Renekton is very strong, as is Orianna, Aphelios, Blitzcrank. The 𝗬𝗏𝗀 feels like 𝗁 is just a little bit worried and doesn't have a super deep champion pool at the moment. I don't know what's going on there.
I mean,
but the rest
to be honest,
good.
I know we all like Blitzcrank and like to watch Blitzcrank, but does he make much sense here? Would you not rather have a ball carrier for your Orianna here? A set, he was banned, of course, but a Leona. Imagine Leona here.
It was picked very early, at least, right? Like, it wasn't like it was a late pick Blitzcrank.
That's fair. But usually Blitzcrank comes in as Team Tahm Kench counter, or if there's something very immobile on the enemy team comes up. But it's very easy to just place the 𝗁𝗏 or the 𝗚𝗔𝗠 in team fights in front of everyone, and then Blitzcrank doesn't do anything. Especially 𝗁𝗏 can just get hooked and press W, so I feel like Blitzcrank is kind of useless here. Maybe they can win lane hard enough to make him shine. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Blitzcrank, of course, does have the explosive potential that at any point in the game, a hook can land on 𝗬𝗏𝗏. And this comp more than any, if 𝗬𝗏𝗏 gets hooked and dies, there is no team fight for GAM. They don't have any other damage.
Yep.
But it's not going to be easy to hook 𝗬𝗏𝗏. If 𝗬𝗏𝗏 gets hooked, ×9 report.
Yeah, and this composition from GAM side is something very unexpected, because we talk about their top side a lot, right? Their top side here, top side there, it's such a good top side, they should play around that. Instead, they have a very ADC-focused composition, and traditionally, a lot of people like to run these compositions if you have weaker laners and a very strong ADC. This is not the case here, and you can actually run these compositions when your ADC is just decent, and you have very strong solo laners as well. Because if 𝗁𝗲 wins her lane, the enemy mid laner will not be as impactful. If 𝗁𝗏 is decent on lane, he's a very good frontline for ADC. And then the job of the ADC is not hard. So you don't need a Slater type ADC to carry you if everything is done for him. If he's spoon-fed all the kills and all the goals he needs, he can just stand there and auto-attack.
I feel like it's almost a bit of a statement from GAM. They came in game 1 playing GAM style. Very early game, very aggressive, very snowbally. They were disgustingly ahead at 15 minutes. It took a while to close it out, but it almost took a while because they let it take a while, and it was very close to a perfect game.
They wanted the
this
zero
game.
kills.
This is completely different. They're now playing not GAM style. If they come in and stomp again, the rest of the league has to be sitting there going, okay, I guess GAM wins the title. Because how do we stop them?
It's a scary prospect. So yeah, I like the show off. I think they are styling a lot in this series, and let's hope it doesn't come back to bite them, because sometimes GAM has styled a little bit too much. I definitely echo your point of the last game being a little bit too long. They could have closed, and if they risked giving up a few kills earlier, but they really wanted that perfect game.
And I mean, there's this is kind of when you get into the intangibles of maybe that's okay. It took a little bit longer to close out, but EVOS has to just have no confidence.
Yeah, that's true.
As now 𝗚𝗏 in some trouble. It's a 2v2 in the mid lane. 𝗚𝗏, lucky he was there, because that was GAM really looking for a play, but he's okay and no one goes down.
And it's, of course, more demoralizing, in my opinion. If you just get stomped, let's say 20-3 in kills, and you lose in 22 minutes, you're like, you can just eradicate the game.
Laugh it off.
Yeah,
you can laugh that off.
Okay, we misplayed early game, whatever, let's try again. But if you have to stay in game for 30 minutes and suffer against a 15k gold deficit and not get a single kill, even though you're only trying to get one kill because you know the game's over, that is much more demoralizing. As we see, some early ganks here and there. Nothing too much happening.
Yeah, just a little bit of poke back and forth. Junglers sticking their little noses out and withdrawing back into their go for holes. 𝗘𝗏𝗢 has a lot to do this game as well.
Absolutely.
Looking over at the EVOS side, he is on the 𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗍.
I want to talk a little bit about...
Can you 𝗚𝗏𝗍𝗍 what he's cooking?
Oh, let's see.
Oh, as a hook lands, but it's a hook onto a Braum. Cool. Aftershock triggers for Blitzcrank, so no trade damage, and it's Braum on the other side. So very interesting.
Look at the wave, though. Look at the wave now. If he actually landed the grab now, I think it's almost a sure flash, because the wave is so big on Braum would be chunked very low. So I feel like a little bit itchy on the trigger figure there for B. A little bit too trigger happy.
I feel that's a fair point. Hard to know if B is thinking like that, and they're setting up for a dive. This is very risky.
They crashed. They stacked the waves.
Nah, the hook lands. Just get out. Yeah.
It's too risky. We of course are on 10-12, so we actually see the new Guardian in action. Guardian is a very strong rune choice now. It's the shield is pretty overpowered. It's getting nerfed in the next patch. So right now you should probably take Guardian a lot of times. Some pros don't like the change because he lost the movement speed bonus, and some champs really.
Why don't you tell us the change for those people out there who haven't read the patch notes?
Oh, never mind.
But never mind. We'll have to come back to it as there is a fight. 𝗘𝗏𝗢𝗏's flashing forward there, trying to get the damage down. B gets first blood, and this is a lot here for EVOS. They've already broken the perfect game. We will not have a rerun. And they get off to a good start. Unfortunately, B got the kill. But they don't mind, as 4 in the bot lane means some tower plates. And GAM can't really stop them.
No, it's very risky to go back to the turret, because if B lands a hook, anyone is going to die. Maybe Slay can stay alive.
Maybe.
Yeah, very nice early kill. And finally, EVOS has broken the no-kill card on their side, or the record on their side. They are finally taking a kill against GAM. It's not the end of the world for GAM, though. Kill went over to B. A little bit of gold lead already on the side of EVOS.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were going to tell us what New Guardian does?
Because New Guardian is not super
possible. Some viewers. Okay. Well.
Yeah, it lost. It got a lot of shield value, and some of the trigger. The range got buffed, so you actually can trigger the shield from farther away. That helps. Oh, never mind. There's another gank approaching from EVOS.
There is 𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗏 in a lot of trouble. There's a shockwave, and there's no way out. This karma will be facing some karma after the atrocities of Game 1. And EVOS rights the ship. We worried if they were tilted, but they're at a straight-backed 90-degree angle as they come in hot into Game 2.
What is it with VCS series and teams just completely swapping places in the second game just because they swapped these sides? It looks like a repeat of Game 1, but the teams are just The name's changed for some reason.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It happened now 3-4 times already. It's something about blue side. Something about blue side.
In this particular one, this has been game one was EVOS not recognizing things from GAM. This game, I don't really think GAM's been misplaying. They've just been outplayed.
Yeah,
right?
It's a very fair point.
EVOS has been doing good, while last game, GAM did well last game to get their early lead, but the only reason they were able to do well was because EVOS made mistakes. I don't think GAM's necessarily making mistakes here.
Yep, I definitely agree with you. Very nice setup for the dice. You could argue that GAM should have been aware of the Renekton roaming down. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication between Kiaya and Dia1 there, because Zeros was definitely instrumental to the play. So,
sure.
Yeah,
but still, I don't think it's quite the same.
I agree. It's definitely a better performance from EVOS, and GAM is not failing as much as EVOS failed in the last early game. And this also can be seen in the gold lead. It's two kills up for EVOS. But at this point in the game, we were already at 3k, 4k gold lead.
Ooh. B is very far forward. Levi going in. B flashes. 𝗧 very low. In some trouble. Will the ignite be enough? It will. And despite the jungler being there for GAM, it is EVOS that walk away with a kill. And that is a big boy blitzcrank. 2-0.
Well, we talked about GAM not making too many mistakes. There we are. Same happened last game, interestingly enough, as well. 3-man gank in the bot lane, and then it got turned around on them. Last time, GAM actually teleported someone in. This time, it's enough for EVOS to just play 2v2. And this is a very, very dangerous 2v2, of course. 𝗚𝗏 has a lot of damage, as we all know. And 𝗧𝗏 just burned down to the ignite. 2 kills over to blitzcrank, of course. Not the preferred target. Actually, one of the worst champs when it comes to
probably the single worst champion in the game to get.
I agree. He does not scale with gold.
He is very literally a hook bot.
Yeah, but it's still nice to get the kills, of course. And let's take a look at this.
Let's see how it happened.
There's a turret, so 𝗧𝗏 very early on gets focused by the turret, and some chakrams are stacking up for divkit. So now, how many chakrams are flying? 5, I think I can see. So that's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
that's almost double the damage you're supposed to take there. So understandably, 𝗧𝗏 was not super aware of that. And we have to consider 𝗧𝗏 didn't play the whole last split, so he might still be a little bit unfamiliar with the professional 𝗚𝗏s in lane.
Yeah, maybe. I hope not, because he's going to be seeing a lot of it, at least until the 𝗚𝗏-ing of 𝗚𝗏s finally happens. Please.
Hopefully.
Oh, God, I can't wait. But Zeros could be in some trouble. Levi's here. Good flash on the Ornhorn, and he's actually walking forward. He's bold. He's brash. We'll put them in the trash. And he survives. It has to burn his flash, though. Does invest both the ultimate cooldown and the flash cooldown, so not a bad excursion up to the top lane for Levi by any means.
Yeah, well, nice reaction there. The flash was definitely on the right place, but there's another grab and forcing the hook.
Nope. As it is just 𝗚𝗏. He's got the Boros combo. He's dropped his little weenies onto the board. Oh, no, it's not red-white anymore. It's now red-blue. So the tower goes down.
There's a very minor thing I didn't like about divkit there. He continued to attack the turret even though these herald was summoned. So you should definitely spend your time attacking the minions and thinning the wave so you can actually get the second push a little bit faster. Because attacking the turret will not change anything about the herald. When the herald would one-shot the turret anyway. So a little bit of waste of time, but it doesn't matter in the end. Just a minor point. Or will it?
Ooh, this is an interesting one. There's the ult out of the 𝗚𝗏s, though. The Moonlight Vigil is definitely looking out as it's 2 kills for EVOS, and they are not taking game 1 lying down. In fact, they're the ones on track to get a perfect game as they're 5k gold ahead at 12 minutes. Are they fast? Are they more ahead than GAM was? I think they might be. And it's not over. Can we have a look at the 1v1 behind the tower, please, observers? As EasyLove has just died to Parquet. Thanks, observers. We really wanted to see how good the tower's mechanics were.
A little unfortunate. Well, 6-0. What a turnaround for EVOS. I still can't believe the team's actually changed sides. It looks like a repeat for game 1 still. And this time around, EVOS stomping big time. And this is such an interesting matchup of two very volatile teams that like to play hard in the early game. They like to go everywhere and force fights. So we might just see coin flip after coin flip after coin flip whenever these two teams meet. Well, as we can see in this replay, there wasn't much they can do. They anticipated a fair fight on their side, but then the hook hit 𝗚𝗢. 𝗚𝗢 immediately blew up. B to follow, not B, of course, Slay this time on the 𝗚𝗏. And now we get to see what happens.
Shockwave into the dissonance, and just the clockwork winds up getting the kill.
Maybe the turret was more interesting there, to be fair. There was just some Oriana play, not. I mean, what can you say? He first RW and auto, whatever.
As opposed to the tower, who got right-clicked on. Cool, Yulwei.
Fair point.
And it is now the bot side switching up to the top side. As my mic is about to fall off my desk. Oh, Jesus Christ! You okay? All right. Sorry about
that. All good. All good.
Momentary earthquake. Not really. No earthquakes in Australia. It's not a thing.
Oh, nice. Oh, we have a little bit of a clash here once again. 𝗚𝗢
absolutely. Something is shaking as in goes 𝗚𝗢, but I think he might have overestimated what he can do. In fact, it was 𝗊𝗢. I'm just completely lying. He got hooked. And he is dead. And EVOS is not taking game one lying down.
Absolutely not. Hook after hook connecting for B as well. He's really putting some work in to get some of his other members of the team some kills as well after he stole away the first two. And the dice are continuing.
Easy Love might be renaming to Easy Kill. Parquet, don't give away the perfect game. As goes very low to tower, has to back off.
Oh, that's an interesting question to talk about. 𝗚𝗏 might be caught out here.
B's here. It's all been a bait. They've been baited. They've been outsmarted. And it turns out Team Siren never disbanded. They just renamed to EVOS.
But why? Why did you stopwatch there?
I don't know. To waste 650 gold.
Nice. Very nice. And now another chase in the bot side. This might be the first
has been found. It might be. Does he have the dominus? He does not. He has to find a way out. No flash available. And he does go down. Everyone report 𝗁𝗏. What a trash can of a player. He's given the kill away. No perfect game for EVOS. May as well just surrender now.
He has to be a little bit careful with all the match fixing allegations, right? Because first game, he got solo kill.
Yulwei, calm down. People in our community will take that seriously. I'm cutting you off before you make
Don't take it seriously, please. Don't take it seriously. I actually looked at his player cam and he was very disappointed in himself, so definitely no match fixing going on. Nice combo.
Now that might be a bit of match fixing. Actually, it was just a really good play out of EVOS. 𝗚𝗏 root into the hook and beep boop put 𝗚1 on carries.
Yeah, well, I mean, no carry would have done better there, to be honest.
True. GAM has two Drakes, by the way. They've got both dragons. It wasn't actually a perfect game regardless.
He got outplayed very hard there from the EVOS bot lane. Nice combo to follow up the 𝗚𝗏 with a very easy to land grab, of course, into silence, into burst. So
don't you love that Aphelios has a gun that does the exact same amount of damage as every other AD carry, but can also be just a point and click route?
Yeah, it's really great. Cool. Also, consider the matchup Aphelios has in this game. So Aphelios has a gun that is Caitlyn. Aphelios has a gun that is just Ashe. And then he has some other OP guns. So sounds like a fair champion to me.
Totally reasonable. As they are pushing on the mid lane, but the Ornn Horn has been blown, as is the Ashe Arrow. But it doesn't matter. DivKid flashing. And now it's turning around onto Slay. And Christmas Braum will be waiting for Christmas. It's 6 months away. He's used Santa Braum. That's why he's losing. It's as far from Christmas as possible.
Oh my god, this is so sad to watch as a poor player. What can he do? It's he has to stand in the front line to protect his ADC, and then he's the easiest target for a Blitzcrank has ever seen. So yeah, 4th death for Slay after a very good first game, but
Also, I just want to point out, 𝗘𝗀𝗎's gone Ludens.
yeah, a lot of
Straight up Ludens on the Karma. Definitely not playing it too supportive. As now, GAM trying to find something. 𝗀𝗏 has been tagged by the Lee Sin Q, but they're just going to turn it around. And once again, Slay's been slain. 5-man knock-up by 𝗘𝗀𝗢 is not going to be good enough. The wallet buff is too damn strong. GAM getting melted. 𝗀𝗏 goes low, but another hook from B. Those are heat-seeking. And 𝗚𝗏𝗎 gets the kill. The base gets cracked. And Yulwei. I think we're going to game 3.
17 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, I think we're going to a game 3, and I'm walking it back. I'm back on the EVOS train, boys. I never doubted you for a second.
I think you told me something about 40 minutes of gameplay. Maybe you can still make it. Nah, that's probably not. I think
the last game would have to end in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, fair. That's very fair. But I mean, this game is more than over too. So will we see a little bit of a closer affair in the third one? We had stomp close game in the very first series. So let's
have a look at this replay. This is so sad for
Slay.
Slay.
By the way, just respawned. 5-man knockup, spectacular, but no damage. So unlucky. Also, Levi very unfortunately gets silenced while he's still flying to his destination, so he can't immediately R. And when he arrives, 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗏 is back to almost full HP. So even the kick from Levi didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was very, very unfortunate. As look at the jungle level difference: 4-0-4. Score not found for 𝗚𝗏𝗎 over on the Levi side. It is 0-2-0. 𝗀𝗏 is tagged up, but it doesn't matter. It was all a trick. You have fallen for one of the classic blunders as B hits another hook, and it's another kill. 6-0-6 for 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗏. He might be adding a 1 to that score, though, and there he goes. The shutdown comes in. B's golden in the middle of the enemy team. Can he get away? And they're going to go charging forward. There's a double shockwave. That's a double kill for the mid laner. And here they go. They sacrificed 𝗚𝗏𝗎𝗏, but apparently it was just to power their dark magic in the mid lane with a triple kill for 𝗚𝗏𝗏, and they'll push on towards the Nexus.
Who needs 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 if you can't have Blitzcrank and Orianna? No one needs that shitty champion.
The robot duo. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
The robots.
Oh, that was the first grab I've seen on screen that didn't hit for B.
Yeah. Oh, he won't be able to quite finish the game.
He has been incredible so far in this game. But also big shout out to Parker, who's playing in the hardest mid lane matchup, not in terms of champions, of course, but against DR1. And he's doing more than well. So he seems to have conserved the form from the players, at least in game 2. So, by the way, B is a level ahead of Levi. So
I just noticed that. Oh no.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Oh, that's really bad. Your jungler being a level down to the enemy support. That's really depressing.
It is.
You have to ask the question, why'd they pick Lee Sin? There was a lot of good picks available.
You know, they could have picked Trundle.
Yeah.
Or their side didn't actually want to pick Trundle. They could have picked something like a farming jungler and countered the Trundle, or even banned the Trundle. But instead, no one cared about Trundle, so fair enough. Seems like we are still a little bit behind the matter in some of the matchups and still playing comfort champs, at least in the jungle. Of course, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has come back to the matter here and there. There's some proponents of her. I know Jankos likes to play her. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess she can work.
Ooh. And now EVOS back on the map. B charging forward, wants to find a hook. Only hits it onto 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏, who, of course, breathes fire to immune it. That's how that works, right? You breathe fire and don't get fisted, I guess. Makes sense. You melt.
Probably melts the fist, right? So
yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Oh, 𝗀𝗏 tagged up. Does Levi want to go for the big play? I don't think so.
Zero says no flash, so can't really engage either. The correct macro play would be to focus on Baron now. You have good vision on the side.
Bad guns for 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, though.
Yeah. He's still a normal AD carry on these guns, so decent Baron speed, regardless.
Ugh. I hate that that's how that works.
I mean,
He's got bad guns. He's only as good as every other ADC.
yeah, on 3 items, which is, by the way, quite
Did you see the damage onto 𝗬𝗎𝗪 there? That was just the splash damage.
Yeah, 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗏 is a very good weapon as well. Even though in team fights, it's not the highest damage output weapon. It's actually the lowest. I think the lowest utility it only gives you range. But the Q for poke and for A run situations
it has an auto attack reset. The auto attack reset's actually pretty strong.
That's true. That's true.
Finally, Baron secured. B goes over the wall. That was just the instant hex flash. The 𝗚𝗠 blown, but it doesn't matter. Slay already dead. 0-7-1 for him. A fantastic game, no doubt. That Moonlight Vigil was absolutely awful. As 𝗬𝗎𝗪 has picked up 2. 𝗧𝗏 gets into the backline. There's a shockwave, making sure that Ashe goes down. 𝗬𝗎𝗪 will not be carrying anything. Dia1 on the run as 𝗬𝗎𝗪 went down. Can they find him? I think they can. And Karma will go down. It's definitely a bad Karma game for all of GAM Esports. And I think EVOS might be pushing in 18 kills, 15k gold. Who needs dragons?
Yeah, no one needs dragons.
Game's going to continue, but it's still over.
It is still very much over indeed. They into 2 kills away on a very hard to fight choke point for their composition and still won the fight. So if you had any hopes for GAM, they are probably now also gone because
𝗬𝗎𝗪 is trying so hard.
Yeah, he really is, but
he really
what can you do?
is.
There's no damage in his team. Look at the item difference in ADCs.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it's already Ashe against Aphelios. So even on even items, probably favor the Aphelios.
Look at the item difference in B and Levi. B has more items than Levi.
Oh no. Yeah, B with an incredible performance. And after CBL was very underwhelming in the first series, and Palette was whatever in Flash series, maybe B is now gunning for #1 support of the league.
At the moment, he's definitely. I definitely think he needs to check those boxing gloves, because they're not regulation. He's meant to miss hooks every now and then.
Holy moly,
𝗧𝗏, he steps left, he steps right, he dodges everything. EVOS now arrives to come in. Slay gets yanked back. Jesus Christ, give the man a break. Let him live. He spent more time dead than alive this game.
Really
he's found. B wants to show that he is the better support. In goes EVOS. They're just looking for kills. They could end the game, but they want to get more on the KDA. Please end the game, guys.
Oh man, that was very impressive.
Pushing on,
stepping there from 𝗧𝗏.
Absolutely,
I would like to see him play.
Is he TPing to the 𝗚𝗠 pillar? No, there's a minion under it.
A minion, yeah.
I was gonna say, what the hell? I didn't know you could do that. As they will finally end the game. I think we'll have one last-ditch team fight here from GAM.
Hey,
Slay's charging forward, gets hooked again, silence. Slay has been alive for all of 5 seconds, and there he goes. The Moonlight Vigil comes out, deals a little bit of damage. Shockwave in the backside. Parquet just soloing out the ADC. Levi burning down. 𝗘𝗏𝗢𝗏 will live. Can he get away? 𝗬𝗎𝗪 wants the kill so bad, and he'll take him to the grave with him. But it's only 𝗬𝗎𝗪 left standing. He gets hooked. He gets killed, and the Nexus gets taken, and EVOS answer back to take us to game 3.
What is going on in the series?
What's going on in the VCS?
Calm down, guys. Can you please play on like the same level for one game? I would like to see a very close last game to close it out for today, because at least we both predicted a 2-1. So it's 1-1 now. One team has to win. One team finally has to confirm who has the better prediction game, because so far we have both been,
Inting.
The best from the other side. To turn the table, we are on top.
They are. Yep. That's very true. I think my headphones have just broken, which is not great. I can still hear you though, just about. But I'll try. MVP, yeah. I'm leaning towards B. He hit everything.
Yeah, it's something of an anti-bias against Blitzcrank that makes me consider to not do it, because Blitzcrank winning Blitzcranks always get MVP, and I'm not sure if he actually won the game.
Hooks.
He was very good on Blitzcrank. Park is another consideration, but I feel like it's fair to give it to B. Yeah, let's give it to B.
Yep, lock that one in. And don't you go anywhere, guys. Don't touch that dial, because we'll be back for game 3. Will it be a close one? We've had a stomp each way now, so surely this one they'll meet in the middle. See you guys very, very soon. Don't go anywhere.
Will it be Zeros or will it be GAM?
Come on. So, with a Game 2 victory under their belt, EVOS answer the domination of GAM back with a domination of their own. So it's Dom v Dom, and we have to ask who will sub for Game 3.
Well,
didn't think I was going to go there, did you?
No, I didn't. But who's your prediction?
EVOS. I'm sticking with my prediction. I'm not changing. Sticking with the boys.
GAM's back to blue side though, and so far blue side has been the one to stomp.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like my prediction also still holds true. I have no idea, honestly. It's so hard to call. One game,
so hard to call, yeah.
Absolute stomp for GAM. Next game, an absolute stomp for EVOS. So who knows?
I feel like GAM almost intentionally drafted as badly as they could for their style.
Yeah, I actually feel like GAM has a little bit more to look back on and improve straight up compared to EVOS after game 1, because EVOS after game 1 was just, well, we got wrecked. GAM can say, okay, it was draft's fault, which might be the case. So I still stick with my GAM prediction.
But draft was bad.
Definitely not just draft. Yeah, that is a very fair point. But yeah, I feel like GAM is slightly favored, but honestly, it's like 52 to 48% for me.
Yeah, it's close.
Div is getting MVP. Div. Are you? Wow.
Dude, there's a reason we do our own. There's a reason we do our own MVPs.
You know,
because
I feel like anyone.
Don't show on our stream. Hang on, our production. Don't you dare. Don't legitimize that.
Yeah, go away.
He's not MVP.
So I feel like we should pick anyone that has like Diamond Elo in Vietnam from our servers. He's eligible to play. Put him on a very good team in VCS and see how many MVPs he gets by just being spoon-fed
an
all
AD
the
carry.
Yeah,
just being an AD carry.
It's so ridiculous. He actually played pretty badly in teamfights. He got caught out multiple times and missed a lot of ultimates. It wasn't even consideration
if the game had been close, DivKid might have lost them the game with his play. It was pretty bad, but he was on Aphelios and his team was up 10k.
The love for ADCs is ridiculous here. I love this role. I love watching good ADCs, but this is a little bit too much VTV. Come on. Come on, guys.
But regardless, it doesn't matter. We have a game 3 to think about. What needs to change? D1 back on a carry, I think, is obvious.
Nice. Strong lanes for GAM. Go back to your original style.
Just for the record. We might have to resync because...
Are we?
Yes, because I saw our stream cut to draft before I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, so you are very far behind. I think I'm still in sync with our stream, so that should be fine. I can see... Blue side for GAM, the first 2 bans are Aphelios and Thresh. On the other side, once again, a Pantheon ban. They don't want to play against DR1 Pantheon, which is respectable after the pursuing season.
Excuse me for a moment. I just need to check something. You have to solo cast for just a sec.
Yep, great enough. And EVOS on the red side, continuing their very, very high respect for DR1, banning his favorite and best champs from Spring Split, I'd say. A Pantheon and, of course, Tristana as well. Kallista's open. And first game was Kalista first pick, and it wrecked EVOS. So maybe consider the Kallista's pick. Yeah, there we go. Kalista is banned. Ezreal is the last remaining S tier AD carry. So let's see if he's going to get picked. It's Instead, we see a Karma first pick. Okay. We are in that matter. We are in the Karma first pick matter. Here we go.
I do return, and we might have to do a little bit of rethinking, because I am now seeing a Syndra lock-in for EVOS. I don't know if I'm ahead of you, or if I'm ahead of the mainstream.
Yeah, you are ahead, yeah.
Okay, so I'll just let you cast draft, and then we'll figure something out.
Okay, Syndra is now being picked for me, so you're about 30 seconds ahead, most likely, or 20 seconds. So if you just wait, maybe we can go back to sync. There is a 𝗀𝗂𝗎𝗓, which this early in the draft is very unlikely to be locked in, but of course B played 𝗀𝗂𝗎 once. He was very bad on her, so please, maybe don't pick her again. We have Ezreal and Syndra, power picks for EVOS, already looking great on their side. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's the Grace. It's lost. It's Grace. Grace Renekton. We have no range whatsoever into Syndra Ezreal. Maybe not the smartest decision here for GAM. Of course, power picks all around. Once again, this time actually pairing the mid lane Karma with the Graves is a good choice, because the Graves profits a little bit more from the shields and stuff than something like this.
But picking a AD solo laner in the top lane when you have Graves instantly locks him out of the lethality build.
Yeah.
Which is
Let's
super
see if he's another Graves who loses to the shopkeeper. We have seen too many of those.
We have. And as Ashe banned, EVOS almost with a self-ban there. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but
Nope, not yet.
Oh, sorry, I'm spoilering. I'll let you keep going. Sorry, I forgot how far ahead I am.
You should just stop on the next ban and we sync on the next ban, I think, for GAM. When the first GAM ban is picked for me. Because right now there's it's only the bans happening, so it's a little bit of time. So
you
there.
call when you up in their first second round ban.
Yes. Come on, GAM, come on. Make your minds up.
Tell me when they're at 4 seconds.
There we are. Literally banned.
We should be back in sync. Sorry about that, everyone. It's just the reality of how we have to cast.
So we see 2 ADC bans for EVOS, 2 more ADC bans, so there's not a lot of ADCs left in the pool. We are thinking about things like Kai'Sa, Xayah, what else is there? Maybe a Kog'Maw? Who knows?
Maybe a mage?
Potentially. 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗻 comes to mind. It would be very short range though. They need a little bit more long. They could actually consider a Caitlyn here, in my opinion, to stomp bot lane and hard snowball on all 3 lanes. Would actually not mind Caitlyn.
What is with all of these Elise bans?
Yeah, it's VCS. VCS for some reason is over prioritizing Elise for month and month now.
She was further banned. Is still available.
Yeah, that's actually.
MF is very popular.
That's a good call out. Another 𝗀𝗏 Rek'Sai game. He's very confident on this champ. Had a very good game in game 2, so fair enough. Rek'Sai into Graves. Well, it's kind of whatever.
It's not really a counter or a not counter.
Yeah,
it
doesn't really. Another melee champ. GAM, this is dangerous.
Yeah, this is super dangerous.
Melee,
Slay did look
range.
very good on the set.
This might actually be Karma bot lane. We could pick him the mid laner here. Karma set bot lane, I believe you can play that. So, unfortunately.
Against Ezreal? I mean, you could play it. I don't think you should.
Yeah, Ezreal's not a strong laner, right? So you can basically play whatever you like.
It's pretty easy when he can just auto-attack you and press Q.
Yes.
You can't do it.
Yes, please. Okay.
GAM's comp is so short range.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. They have no range whatsoever. It's so weird. And they are playing against 3 very strong long-range champs in Ezreal, Syndra, and Jace.
How do they ever get onto the Syndra?
And it's not even only short range, it's also lacking in engage options. It's only really Slay who has engaged. Tier 1, no engage. No engage CC. Levi, nothing to speak of. And Kiai, I guess, can flash EW in, but that is very conditional and hard to pull off. So I absolutely hate GAM's comp, and that basically means they are going to stomp. So that's how VCS works. Let's see. 𝗘𝗢𝗢 in game 1 won the Renekton, got a solo kill. So you can replicate that success. It's a good start. It's also Ezreal into double AD topside for the side of GAM, which means the cheaper and, in my opinion, better build gets unlocked with the frozen fists. Iceborne Gauntlet, of course.
The LPL build?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
that makes him unbelievably tanky, and even if you get on top of him, when he has 170 armor and a Braum, you're probably not killing him. So, I feel like EVOS is heavily outdrafted GAM in this game, so let's see if they can also perform.
Which is interesting, because I don't think EVOS's draft is actually very good. It's okay. I don't think it's anything special. It's not super cohesive. The Rek'Sai is still a question mark to me. I don't understand why there's a sudden 3 Rek'Sais in a row. Like,
every time I have to see Braum as the last pick, I'm going to say the draft is shit, because like you can probably press random on your support and get a better support than Braum.
A bit harsh.
Why didn't they just pick Yuumi here? Like, look at this new composition and think about Yuumi.
Yeah, like the complete ignorance on Yuumi is insane. Imagine Yuumi in this comp. GAM just don't even play the game.
Yeah, honestly, if they pick Yuumi here, GAM can
minutes.
just surrender. No one can ever get on top of them. Yuumi with very good peel.
Okay,
Zeros,
calm down. He's safe, but Jesus, that was really just asserting his dominance. As there's the flash and ignite burnt for Slave to trade for the flash of DivKid. It's a positive trade for GAM.
Aggressive.
An interesting little level 1.
I mean, is it a positive trade? It's Ezreal after all.
Yes, so, but I mean,
you don't have a ganking jungler.
It's Ezreal, but Set runs Hex Flash.
Yeah,
so he doesn't really care about burning his flash.
Honestly, I think it's pretty whatever.
I think it's pretty.
Doesn't really.
I hadn't really considered the Ezreal factor. Are
look at Levi's face. Look at Levi's face. Oh my god, he wants to
quit. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh my god.
That's bad.
Did you see Levi on the cam?
He was so angry. That's such a what has just happened? How has this happened in a professional game?
Oh, it's so funny.
Even my silver teammates can avoid that.
Zeros is actually lost the level 2 to 𝗘𝗢𝗢 here, but was unfortunate enough to pick up the minions in time to not hard lose his lane. He was in danger of throwing away all his HP lead there.
Yeah.
But now we get to see Grace without an early buff jungle.
Hey, maybe it was a strat. Hail of Blades Kai'Sa with red. Ooh, no flash on the Ezreal.
Sounds annoying to play against, for sure. Well, we saw Grace without smite. Now we can see Grace without an early buff.
Oh no. This is not good.
I want to see it for the first gank of the game, but Levi with a good response. And this can be dangerous if Son overdies.
Yeah, he could get a red buff. But I don't think he would have seen with the tremor sense. He has to know Levi's there.
He spotted him here.
Yeah, he's absolutely spotted.
So. Oh, but Syndra is coming.
It's all good. They're actually just, I think, trying to give Levi some XP as someone tunnels over the wall, just pushing it in.
What
are they
going
trying
on?
to set up for? This is weird.
I don't understand the movement from anyone there. What? What was the plan on either side?
I'm so confused. I think GAM was trying to actually catch Levi up in XP. Losing your buff is so much XP. I think they were trying to give him lane XP.
Yeah. Syndra,
I don't know what Syndra was
I'm glad EVOS actually called off the play because the dive could have potentially lost them the whole game. And in the first game, they committed to these kinds of plays, so I'm happy they at least changed a little bit about their play. Still a strange plan. After you tremor sense the enemy jungler, maybe just run away and go back to your lanes. Whatever.
Yeah.
In the end, doesn't really do much. Levi is still over 3 though, so the early buff is still definitely something he can feel in the jungle, because usually Graves is ahead in the CS and of course in experience as well, compared to any other jungler.
Yeah, and I mean, he's already had to take a recall just to go get a talisman because he can barely clear his jungle without the early level 2. You take so much damage as Graves that you just don't need to take. The red buff, it's not like it really got anything in the bot lane either. There's no real CS lead. It's, a couple creeps. It'll grow a little bit because there is a lot pushing in here. But 𝗚𝗔𝗢𝗦 was always going to win very early. It's an Ezreal.
Oh, that was risky. Oh, Ezreal.
Oh, wow. That's super risky. And here's the face breaker. This might be a big mistake out of 𝗘𝗀𝗢𝗧, taking a lot of damage, but the teleport's coming in. Can 𝗚𝗔𝗢𝗦 get the kill? He can. First blood will be answered back. They give it over to 𝗚𝗂𝗏 as well. But that was bold, 𝗘𝗀𝗢𝗧.
Yes.
Not a good
that was
kind
all
of
too
bold.
aggressive. I feel like you are a few seconds behind. I hope our producer can confirm or deny, because I definitely saw that a few seconds earlier.
Can our producer say in our ears what timestamp they're at? Could you pause for 2 seconds? So I'm at 54, 55, 56, 57. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, everyone. That is unfortunately the reality of how we have to cast. We're all just trying to watch YouTube at the same time. But it doesn't always work out.
Was one dragon picked up by EVOS, so nice little early objective. But they are losing in gold already, and bleeding gold in top lane, and experience, of course, as well. Zeros has his TP available, but right now there isn't really an opportunity to get back. Let's look at this again. Well,
yeah, this is a decision.
𝗘𝗀𝗢𝗧, wow. 𝗘𝗀𝗢𝗧 really played this as badly as he could. He even got hit by the true damage part, which might have actually secured the kill. If he dodged to the side just a small little bit, instead of 130 damage, he might have only be hit by, like, let's say 60 damage. That's a difference of 70 HP, and that would have been enough to not die to the last auto attack there. So 𝗘𝗀𝗢𝗧 really misplaying the wave and the dive or the gank there. Kill went over to the mid lane, which is nice. 𝗚𝗺𝗏 with an early kill, of course, can dominate mid lane a little bit harder, but this shouldn't have happened. And now 𝗚𝗔𝗢𝗦 accelerated in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's very scary. Has got the miners build absolutely coming for your golden ore. The double pickaxe.
Double pickaxe. Huh.
It's just to get it. It's the transform.
I don't really like this, I have to say. Feel like it delays your one item power spike a little bit too much, and people tend to say it's not actually power spike, but this the completion of Mana Moon is quite, it actually gives you like 20 30 AD on top of the AD you already had, so it's a little bit of a power spike still. So not the biggest fan. A pickaxe.
I mean, the big thing here is not getting the tier. Delays the tier. Ooh, wow. Straight up flash.
And now EVOS is in no man's land.
And yeah, EVOS is in a lot of trouble. 𝗚𝗏𝗏 flashing. Sorn needs to find a way out, and they do manage it, but they have to call in the TP, which gives 𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗏 free reign on the top side. And he was already ahead. This is a bit of a disaster. Yeah, this is an absolute disaster for the top lane. He is going to lose 2 or 3 tower plates. He is going to be even further down in CS.
He didn't even get the plating gold from the bot lane. He didn't even get that.
This is bad. Oh, that's bad.
He's on life support now. This 𝗬𝗎ce is not a champion for now. He's support 𝗬𝗎ce, basically. He is 47 CS. He's almost 2 levels down to 𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗏. He's now 2 levels down to 𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗏. Oh my, that TP, I feel like he can't call that in. Maybe it saves the play. They were 4 people strong there anyway, so
yeah.
I need to see a replay to say if the TP was actually necessary. But this hurt top side so much. 𝗁𝗏s is not.
It's really bad. Yeah, 𝗁𝗏. This is a 4v5 for a while. 𝗁𝗏s is still in the bot lane as well. They're just giving up. They're just going for a tower trade, and 𝗚𝗎𝗎 sniffs it out. The Spidey sense. Tingling. They need to try and take this tower. There's a Rift Herald on the top side, though. It will be GAM getting first tower. Can EVOS at least get the tower to even it out? They should be able to. So it's not the worst situation for the overall gold, except they're not going to get the tower. It's bad.
He should be able to still get the turret in the next wave.
With 𝗚𝗎𝗎 there, with the rest backing off.
He gets a solo plating at least, but now they have to be. Oh my god, it might be another turret in the top lane.
This is really bad. This is really bad, EVOS. They've
EVOS
just been outplayed.
Yeah, EVOS might have just lost the game there.
Yeah.
If GAM is able to snowball this game from this lead, this one play, this one TP has actually lost them the game. Where, well, 𝗁𝗏s is not a champion now, and the gold lead is still it's 2k for GAM, which is quite a lot for 10 minutes, of course. But it's not actually showing the severity of the situation. Of course, there's a 40 CS lead in top lane. If 𝗂𝗎𝗎 decides to freeze, if the wave is ever bouncing back to him, there is a whole lane that no one can enter. So now we have to see, and I can judge if VCS teams actually understand the concept of freezing waves, because this is one of those games where freezing will basically just end the game. If you freeze on 𝗁𝗏s here, the game is over.
Yeah, it's actually really true. And 𝗂𝗎𝗎 is the kind of player that will freeze.
I hope so.
The question
would be cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, he's the kind of player that I think has that knowledge.
He even has TP advantage now, so he doesn't even lose a lot of pressure on the side lane if he decides to freeze. So it's really the perfect opportunity. Sorry, keep my mic there. Apologies.
It's all right. Didn't pick up. As 𝗁𝗏s is still in the bot side. They're not even sending him back up because they want to try and make a play for this dragon. Would potentially be a dragon snowball for EVOS. If they can get it, they go forward onto Levi. That's a lot of damage on him. Uses the collateral damage to get away and does get healed. In goes the showstopper. That's a lot being done. Parquet is dead. It's traded back onto the jungler for GAM. Sword surfs over the wall. DivKid needs to find a way out. And does for now. There's going to have to be a round 2 of this fight. GAM charging forward. 𝗁𝗏s jumps back. Does do so little damage. And round 1 is a 1-for-1. But the dragon still lives.
We see some of the difficulties that GAM is facing this with this team composition against EVOS' team composition. Imagine if Jayce actually dealt damage. That fight would have gone a very different way. EVOS would have stomped GAM here. Very hard for GAM to let any damage stick. They didn't get DivKid to anything close to death, so EVOS might still be able to outscale. They need to get some goals on their top laner, though.
We already see, despite the lead that GAM has, they're just too short range. They can't actually make the fight happen.
Yeah.
They have to catch EVOS in a mistake.
The Slade tried everything to start a fight there, and he still wasn't really able to.
We've got the dragon going low. It's on 1,000 health. Sorn's not here, so Levi will just get that one away. We head to a mountain rift at 1-on-1. 𝗚𝗎𝗎 flashes the wall, so at least the summoner gets taken.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was super confused by that there. They looked like one was teleporting to the tunnel directly beside him, but of course it's the enemy team's tunnel, so it can't teleport to that. So just a little brain fart.
𝗂𝗎𝗎 goes and picks up a massive wave. It goes up to a nearly 50 CS lead in the top lane. 𝗁𝗏s getting absolutely dominated in this one due to a pretty terrible teleport.
Yeah, it was a team call, though. There's no way 𝗁𝗏s makes this call alone. As a top laner, you really don't want to make this call. It's like, do I have to? Do I really have to, guys? I'm going to lose so much. And your team is calling you in. So you reluctantly, you press the button. But in the end...
Ooh, 𝗬𝗎𝗎 taking a lot of damage. 𝗬𝗎𝗎𝗀, and that's a kill. 𝗁𝗏s getting some gold back.
Nicely done. very nicely orchestrated kill, and Zeros gets the much needed experience. He's now level 8, still 2 levels down. And I've absolutely no idea why 𝗀𝗀 is catching the wave instead of Zeros. Never mind. 𝗀𝗀 just prepped it a little bit. So now Zeros should be able to collect a little bit more experience on the top side. Or you could just let the wave bounce back for some reason. No, he's finally there. Okay. He's still 50 CS behind, and
still a 2.3k gold lead.
Honestly, now he could attempt the freeze, but that's the last time I'm going to talk about a freeze until it's actually happening, because it seems like players are not aware of the possibility.
Just stop saying it. Global warming is really hitting the rift hard because nothing is freezing.
We are bouncing waves. That's fine too.
Yeah,
a little bit of
we're playing tennis.
So we have gone to Mountain Rift. Let's take a moment to see what Mountain Rifts or Mountain Soul would do for either team.
It's not game winning. It's not really.
Mountain Soul for EVS is the end of the game, but they should not ever be in a position to get the Mountain Soul from the current state of the game. So it's not that big of a deal, because Mountain Soul for GAM doesn't really change much. They already have very beefy targets with a lot of HP. So Mountain Soul, yeah, I mean, they're going to be tankier, which is nice. Shouldn't actually matter too much in team first, though. So I feel like Mountain Soul for EVS is game winning, because then there's not enough burst on GAM to ever win team fights. So way better for EVS here.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be continuing to get harder and harder for GAM to really fight if those Mountain Drakes get stacked up. We do have to constantly refer back to just the weaknesses of GAM's team comp. If EVS wants to kite them, how does GAM stop them?
Yeah, they're just brute force. Their team composition is just brute force from top to bottom. Even the ADC is the most brute forcey ADC you can pick. It's the one that can jump into the back line.
That's weird. That's not Draven.
Yeah, I mean, Draven. What is Draven? Draven's not a champion.
Draven. He's Draven.
No, it's Draven.
He's the champion.
He has one of the coolest skins in the game, or one of the funniest skins in the game, I should say.
Draven.
Draven is so perfect.
Yeah, it really is. I always use Shoutcaster Draven there.
That's a really cool skin as well.
You know, you got to use. If you're a Shoutcaster, you kind of have to use the Shoutcaster skin, right?
That's a fair point. So let's take a moment to appreciate the vision setup here from GAM on the topside jungle. Baron is only spawning in 3 minutes, so I'm not quite sure. They are really trying to give 𝗀𝗀𝗧 a safe way to overextend in topside, because it's quite easy to get a counter kill here. There's not much GAM can do on this map. This is always the point of the game we talk about a lot. That is very risky for the team that is ahead, because we don't really get to do much. The enemy team can be very defensive and just give up some dragons, collect some farm. And you have to overextend into their territory because you won too hard. So you're suffering from success, which is always a little bit weird. But they have set up 𝗀𝗀𝗧 nicely to just overextend in the top lane with 2 pink wards. You can see there. So good play, good map play, good map read from GAM so far.
Of course, Zeros will be able to collect those waves every time they're pushed in. Drake is alive. Both teams are showing an interest in it, but it is effectively a 4v5 even if Zeros TP's in. 4k health.
They are late to the party.
Here.
This might just be a little bit of a smite fight. Levi is 2 levels ahead.
Will definitely be a site. Yeah, I need to get out. GAM gets the Drake.
Thanks for the leash, guys.
Yeah, just TY for leash. But that Drake doesn't matter that much. It's just a second Drake. It's 1 Mountain Drake. Who cares?
Well, I agree. I don't really understand why you would start the dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it's just a gamble. Maybe you say, okay, maybe they don't. Okay, they actually had a pink ward on the dragon, so it's not really, not even a gamble. It's just like we don't have anything else to do. All the waves are on the other side, so let's just do something. Didn't really do much for EVS. They gave up another dragon. For 1 Mountain Drake really is not important for anyone.
Doesn't matter.
This one is much more interesting.
Herald summoned up. They want to crack the mid lane open.
That's a lot of
𝗎𝗔𝗇
damage.
takes a big true shot barrage. Can they kill this Herald in time? I think they will be able to. And yep, she turns, exposes her eye, and down she goes. The mid lane tower will stand. Of course. Oh, 𝗀𝗢𝗄𝗃 used for wave clear. B goes low, but the collateral damage misses. 𝗎𝗔𝗪 getting tagged by more and more mystic shots. But in the end, no one goes down. The tower survives, and we continue a little bit of a lull state.
Absolutely, yeah. But this game reminds me very much of the second game of the first series where Team Secret had 4 melee champs and 𝗊𝗀𝗢𝗃 as well, or 𝗊𝗪𝗢𝗃, I'm not quite sure. And they played into Karma, 𝗬𝗏, and Kindred, and were never able to break the mid lane outer turret. So this is very hard for GAM to play, even from ahead. Team Secret was actually behind, so it was even harder for them. But even from ahead, you can see the struggles for GAM's team composition into 𝗬𝗏 alone, who has now finished his very, very important Iceborne Gauntlet. So this is by no means over, even though GAM is in a nice position if you just look at the stats.
It's been 2k gold for a really long time.
And the gap is
they can't grow the lead. Yeah, they're not growing this lead.
So, yeah, it's looking scary. I would actually say EVS is slightly favored to win this game if both teams execute perfectly. Basically, I'd say there's a slightly higher chance. Yeah.
This is all down to execution at this point. Can EVS play out their comp correctly, or can GAM catch them making mistakes? They're going to have another go onto the mid lane, but True Shot Barrage does not have a very long cooldown. And of course, back up to clear out the wave, and the structures still stand. EVS is happy with this delay.
Absolutely. They just want to scale up. 𝗬𝗏 is only getting stronger. Look at 𝗎𝗏's items. He is now online. He doesn't have the transformation, of course, because he was way too late on the tier. But it's still a very nice item completion. He should have the Q evolution by now, so he's the strong Kai'Sa. He might be able to duel 𝗘𝗏𝗃 in the backline. On the other side, 𝗘𝗏𝗃 also on a nice item break point. So I feel like he needs 1 or 2 more items to really challenge the 𝗬𝗏.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Parker just walking by.
Yeah, just chilling.
So they broke the outer mid lane turret, which is way more than Team Secret ever achieved with their 4 melee composition.
Yeah, Levi coming in, but 𝗘𝗏𝗃 gets away with the arcane shift, but this should be an inner tower going down. There's not enough wave clear. EVS just not really responding, and they lose everything in the mid lane. What just happened?
So EVS made the call that the mid lane turret is now safe, because GAM did not push. And then GAM adapted their call to say, okay, they are actually just pushing side lanes. We can, okay, it's Zeros inted.
Well, we didn't hit. He's out of there.
I mean, here it's teleported away, at least.
Well, he didn't die.
Fair enough. He had all the time in the world to get out of that situation, though. So, not the greatest game so far from Zeros. My fantasy team is not happy with him so far. It's not the best start.
No, it's all right. You'll come back.
But overall, anyone who has fantasy players for GAM or EVS are very disappointed with this third game, because it's 5 kills in 24 minutes. Are we 𝗚𝗏𝗃 now?
Please no. I don't want to be. Come on, we're meant to be little LPL.
I mean, we wanted a close game, right? We wanted a close game, so it's kind of on us to wish for a close game.
To be fair, though, it's a tense game. Like, it hasn't broken yet, but it is going to break open at some point. GAM has to fight. GAM can't win this game through just pushing pressure, because they can't break the base that way. Now, all 10 members are here. 𝗘𝗏𝗃 very far forward. Of course, he is tanky, going the Iceborne Death Dance build. 𝗬𝗏 getting poked out. He's still barely a champion, but there he goes. He wants to show that he's a champion. 𝗀𝗏 desperately trying to get a tag. There it is, getting the damage down, but look at all the healing. 𝗀𝗏 is just dead. 𝗬𝗏, great champ. As the 𝗚𝗊𝗢𝗍𝗪 misses as well. 𝗚𝗏 might have thrown here. EasyLove going forward, playing around that rock due to the mountain rift. 𝗬𝗢 going forward. Everyone's so low for 𝗚𝗏. Can they kite this one out? Looks like at the moment they can. 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗏 throws it out. 𝗬𝗏 so low. Dragon's alive. Just give this one up, 𝗚𝗏, I think. And GAM will move to Soul Point. Oh, 𝗚𝗏 has not gotten out here. They're still here.
Yeah, they are. Not everyone, though.
Can we look at 𝗚𝗏 instead of the Dragon?
What is going on with communication? Why did everyone recall that 𝗚𝗏 stayed? What?
I think he got tagged by 𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗏.
𝗚𝗏𝗢𝗏? Oh, potentially.
I think so, as it was definitely thrown out, and he goes down.
Well,
and it's a big win for GAM.
That's a very big swing for GAM, and it was actually all on EVOS here. You can see that almost all of the agency and team fights is on EVOS. 𝗬𝗏 flashes over the wall and goes for the kill.
𝗀𝗏 goes too hard.
𝗀𝗏 is way too deep. He disrespects the Karma big time. And like, not only that, because the onus is not on you to engage. You should never try to burst someone down. You will whittle them down over the course of the fight. You are not looking for quick kills in the fight. You are looking to kite with Ezreal, use your jungler, your 𝗬𝗏𝗢, to stop the engage. You don't need your 𝗬𝗢 to dive.
Live and Dia1. Oh, sorry, what am I saying? Dia1. I just assumed Jace was Dia1. No, it's 𝗬𝗏. Well, sorry. 𝗬𝗏 is dead, and that's going to potentially give up Baron. Has GAM cracked the back of EVOS?
EVOS is not playing very well around their strength. Overextensions now from both of the
very long time. It's almost like they got antsy.
Yeah. It's a very new style for EVOS. EVOS is a very aggressive team, at least in spring they were. So playing this style definitely needs a lot of discipline. You can feel like it feels like EVOS's players are not super used to playing this disciplined, and they want to live for fights. They got them
off the Baron though, and now have the inside track. So
yeah, they are bleeding gold though. They need to dam the bleeding a little bit, because there will be a point, especially if Mountain Soul does go over to GAM, there will be a point where all the kiting doesn't matter because GAM has too much damage.
Yeah, and this was just 𝗬𝗏 getting caught.
Slave with a very nice engage there. Oh, nicely done.
He's good on set.
Absolutely.
He's really good on set. So
2 items. Let's check in with the items. 2 items, 3 items even done for EasyLove. 2 items done for Dia1. Not the greatest synergy between the 2 items. Usually you want to go Ardent Center second if you go for the Athenes, but he of course started Luden, so it's a little bit delayed here in terms of the teamfight utility. 2 items for Necton. He's in a very strong state, even though he doesn't have the burst build. On the other side, the 3rd item is being worked on for 𝗬𝗏, but I mean, there's an 𝗚𝗔𝗀𝗢𝗏 in there, so that's only half an item. And some strong items for the carries as well. So, seems pretty even to me. ADC is a little bit of an issue, though.
Yeah, it is. Once the Death Dance is complete, though, 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗏 is... You say there'll come a point where all the kiting doesn't matter. With a Gauntlet Death Dance Ezreal, I don't know if I agree. Because he can kite you forever, and if you catch him, it's still really hard to kill. So, This is a close one, for sure. GAM playing better at the moment, for sure. EVOS need to tighten up the belt, but still very much hanging in the balance.
So, yeah, I was more talking about the gold point, not actually a scaling point. I still feel like EVOS hard outscales this as a team composition overall, but they still have to be careful to not give up too much gold, too many objectives, because if you're 1 item behind on every player, I don't think the kiting matters too much. So it's done now, though, already. So it's 3 items against 3 items. The 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗏 will now be the main focus of his team and the main damage dealer. So let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can
Zeros
carry,
completely caught up in farm, by the way.
well,
He's actually 2 ahead. He's been sitting in side lanes getting given farm, so he is a real boy again.
yeah, there could have been something, macro concepts used to prevent this from happening. But
Yeah.
who knows?
I don't know, some sort of ice on the top lane. Like, you call it ice because you slow it or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone will come up with something good.
That has to be it. I feel like it. But I don't know. I'm a VCS analyst, so I'm not sure about this concept.
I always forget minions in the VCS. They don't do much. And the Drake
good position for GAM.
But
DR1 is a little bit caught out. Look at where DR1 is.
Yeah, DR1 zoned off for this 𝗂𝗍. They're just bursting the dragon at the moment. Don't want 𝗂𝗊𝗏 and 𝗧𝘂𝗧 wasting too much time searching for the karma.
Yulwei is still 2 levels ahead, though.
2k on the dragon. They need to go for the fight if they want it, but the Mountain Soul is just conceded. EVS didn't find a fight angle that they liked, and it will be the shield and the resistances for GAM.
I really don't understand what EVS is trying to do with these weird dragon starts. Like, can you make your mind up, please? Do you want to contest this? Do you want to trade it?
Very indecisive.
Yeah. And I agree, 50-50ing the dragon and go, oh, never mind, there's an engage.
They're trying to get the damage. 𝗂𝗏𝗏 was stunned. He gets blown up by the 𝗂𝗍. This could be a disaster for EVS. Levi charging forward. He's a big, fast boy. Can they find their way out? There is a blast cone. Over the wall they go, but Slay was ready. 𝗧𝘂𝗧 has been caught. He tries and turns some damage around, but it doesn't do anything. And EVS are all falling. GAM has caught them. The kiting doesn't matter when you don't kite. And the decision-making from EVS was atrocious. Baron started, and oh, good God, what are these two trying to do?
He has flash and smite, so he has to go for the steal. It's the only way they win this game. They need this Baron.
Except look at his health. He's just going to insta-die. He was on a quarter health. Okay,
nicely defended for GAM.
And DivKid goes why not go up the lane?
Because EVS is playing very badly this game.
Yeah, they really are. This is terrible.
When the last 5 minutes have been very disappointing for EVS' side. There's clearly some concepts and some macro decisions they have to work on, and decisiveness is one very big thing as well, I see you pointed out. All the dragons went over to GAM, but in a position where EVS would have been able to just farm it out. So it's actually not surprising to see all the dragons go over to GAM, but the way in which they were going to GAM was very weird. Because EVS was there for every single dragon fight, started the dragon fight, and then chickened out. So they wasted a lot of time and a lot of cross-map play potential to just leash the dragon for no apparent reason. So, yeah.
Yeah, this has been bad. EVS completely lost with what to do in this game, how to approach objectives. There hasn't even been that much poke landing from the poke comp. And again, like, there's other questions to ask. Why the Rek'Sai? Why Braum? Imagine Yuumi right now.
Yeah,
Yuumi wasn't banned.
Yeah, I still feel like the biggest blunder in this game occurred when they tried to go for an engage with their composition and try to finish the kill on DR1 of all players with a flash from 𝗀𝗏. So they sacrificed their own jungler to lose the team fight, to lose the dragon. That really started the dragon snowball in the favor of GAM. And they were never able to come back. So we have, it's a close exchange in the top side.
Okay. Ooh, DR1, no. Throws the nuke, and 𝗧𝘂𝗧 is now 1-3. That can't happen.
It's the solo kill. That's a solo kill for the books.
Yep, and DR1, my mid laner in our fantasy league, so I'm not complaining.
𝗧𝘂𝗧's my top laner.
I'm not versing you this week. I'm shattered.
I mean, I can't win this week anyway, so whatever.
Okay, so is it over? 4-level difference in the jungle. That's
I think so.
Ridiculous. This is dunzo. GAM are just going to walk.
Look at the ADC items. There is so much protection as well for 𝗀𝗎𝗋 now with Triple Mountain and Mountain Soul and Tier 1 Shields, who is actually just straight aboard the 𝗚𝗓𝗢. So 𝗀𝗎𝗋 can basically play the 𝗘𝗩𝗢𝗀𝗀 composition without a Kayle, where she just dives in and disregards everything because she has a Karma behind her. So yeah, I think this is
double stopwatch as well.
This is probably over here.
Yeah. This is,
the items are just not there for EVOS to kite fast enough to actually deal the damage back, because kiting is of course not only you don't only kite to run away, you also kite to get damage back, right? So right now they can run away, but they can't really deal damage to the Triple Mountain team. So all the kiting can't really amount to much.
Yeah, it doesn't amount to anything.
Item being built by 𝗀𝗎𝗋. Not sure what he's going for. Ludens for the ARAM special.
Yeah, maybe. Is that really the best fifth item on 𝗂𝗧?
I really like 𝗚𝗓𝗢 for extra on-hit damage and W damage, but a little bit of cooldown reduction is not bad either, right? You have 30% now, so now he's on 40% maxed out.
I mean, where's the Medjais?
That'd be late for that, maybe.
Not if you play another 20 minutes to have some fun.
If you play another 20 minutes, you actually are way more concerned about losing the game than
True.
So would
𝗂𝗧 be more broken than Ezreal was if you could have double tier?
That's a very interesting question.
Would you go double tier on 𝗂𝗧? I think you would, assuming you wanted to go AP. And
you probably would throw in a tier, the second tier after your first is stacked and you're on 2 items or something, and then go for the second tier.
It's a big
probably
shield.
Very nice in terms of stats, but I feel like Ezreal still used it better. But there we go. Speaking of Ezreal, he's in a little bit of a dangerous position.
Well, they're okay. The kiting is still good for now. Xeros running away. And after so much hype for EVOS Xeros, been a bit of a wet fart this game. You got to check your pants. There's been some follow through. 8K on the 𝗚𝗓𝗢𝗀, 6K now, 5K, 4K. There's no chance of a fight steal. There's no chance. He's 4 levels down. They have to do something insane. Then they go, is there a steal? No, of course there's not. Levi gets it. Now EVOS need to run. Bah! Goes the dragon, and 𝗘𝗧 gets the first kill. In goes the rest of the team. He gets executed, and EVOS will be wiped off the face of Summoner's Rift. And I believe GAM will be starting out their season with a series win over EVOS. Oh boy.
Oh, there we go. GAM finally closing out the game. This was a strange one. Not quite sure what to say about the third game here. Definitely not the highest quality. I feel like both games we saw earlier were better. Even though they were stomps, quality seemed higher to me. I feel like EVOS really didn't know what to do with this composition. They reminded me a little bit of the Team Secret. Not quite as badly, but they didn't play it quite as bad as Team Secret. But
the VCS in general looking like it's been 2 months since the last split.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Some of the anticipated and highly anticipated teams falling through so far. We had 3 upsets. You might even say it's now 4 upsets, because I think most people went with EVOS in this one. So the league has been a little bit strange, but it's the first week, of course. There's a lot of time to grow, and you have to get into the rhythm as well. Once again, it's in the stadium. It's changed to offline play again after 2 months. For most players, even 3 months, right? Because playoffs happened before that. So after that, so. Yeah, I'm left with a little bit of confusion after this series, but in the end, GAM wins, and GAM looks decent, I'd say.
Yeah, we have to pick an MVP for Game 3, and you should also put your pick for Player of the Series in the Discord chat, so our producer knows. But MVP for Game 3. Slay's engages were really good.
Yeah, Slay made a lot happen.
Yeah.
Easy Love is the easy cop out if you want to go by stats. I feel like he was unable.
Yeah, I feel like he just rode the team. He played well, but he just rode the
Yeah,
team.
he played well. But yeah, most ADCs, they get a lot of kills, play well. But were they really the most important player? The
Also,
most
he
valuable
stole his
player?
gun with red buff at level 1.
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, he can't get MVP for that.
Yeah.
Poor Levi.
MVP for Slay, I think.
Yeah.
And if our producer's ready, which I assume you are, player of the series was 𝗘𝗢𝗢 up in the top lane. He showed that 𝗲𝗏 may have the name and the fame, but 𝗘𝗢𝗢 had the skills to pay the bills.
Absolutely.
As he popped off. He was a rock in the top lane, absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, and the two wins, he really outperformed 𝗲𝗏, and even in the loss, he was pretty good on the on. He played his heart out, even with his team hitting across the map. Yeah, 𝗘𝗢𝗢 deserves this one. The rock in the top lane, a very, very good foundation to build your team around for GAM. And I think we once again saw why we too both value 𝗘𝗢𝗢 so highly and rated him above 𝗲𝗏 in the spring at least.
Yep, absolutely. But with that, it is another night of VCS in the books. It was a fun one. It's always a fun one here in the VCS. Sorry?
More upsets.
Yeah, it's another weird one. We do have another day tomorrow to see if the upsets will continue. A lot of fun for sure. Do join us again tomorrow. We love having you here. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, do scroll down below the stream. There is a Discord link. Come join the community. We always love getting new people. We have a pick'ems thing you can join. There's a fantasy league. Might be a little bit too late for that for this split, but maybe we can work something out. No promises. As well as just chatting with the casters and all the rest of the people involved. There's a couple of professional players in there, but don't bother them. Be nice. There's also a donate link if you are interested. It does really help us out if you do donate. We don't get paid. So yeah. But yeah, no pressure. We'll see you guys tomorrow though. So my name's been Everyday. With me has been Yulwei. I want to thank our producer Spoods behind the scene.
Thank you.
He puts in a shitload of work. Excuse my French. But we'll see you tomorrow. See you guys.
See you tomorrow. Have a good night.